Slide.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Get Lifted. 30 is new 20. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're notified the next time we post or go live.
SmileyJizzle. We in the building. What up? What up? How everybody weekend? That's what's up. So, we got this gas mask here. Gas. You might have to move it over a little bit, just a little, tiny bit. Not this way. This way. Right there. All right. So we got this gas mask here. Came with a Thanos mask on it. It's just for show. You're supposed to, you know what I mean? Like, but man, I can't see shit in this mask, man. Put this shit on.
It look like a fly.
Yeah, it's mad foggy.
You just see light.
You're supposed to see.
But you can't do it by yourself.
Somebody got
but you can't see nothing except light.
So we need a few things for this science project to work.
Infinity Stone.
Nah, I poured it out. So y'all put some ganja in there. Some water in it.
You did clean it out. Did you clean it out?
Nah, that's still weed.
Poured it out.
I just poured out the water. We got some good things to discuss today. So, you know, in light of the libations.
Libations.
I've been busting people ass and chest for the last few days, man. In my mood. I ain't want to talk about her, but somebody at my job, man. I just be thinking about how do women get in situations like this, and why do they think it's okay? Like, if you dealing with somebody, and I hope she stumbled upon this video and look at this. What I'm saying. If you messing with somebody, you shouldn't be giving other dudes like your attention like that. It just don't send the right message. Like, it just look crazy. If you really care about that person anyway.
Say that again, Smiley?
Like, if you dealing, yeah, you shouldn't be entertaining other niggas if you in a relationship. You say you got me. No doubt. So I don't know. So I'll tell you. I'm not gonna say no names, but I just tell you this. Give you a scenario. So the scenario is you got a whole dude, right? But you entertaining a local artist, not entertaining them, but you like promoting their stuff. Now, mind you, you got the clout because you got more followers than this local rapper got. You know what I mean? So if it's for promotion, you could do it, but you're not getting no money from it. You're doing it pro bono, right? and you saying like to your man, yo, this harmless, like this nigga, you know what I mean?
Not just your man. That's her husband, right?
Nah, it ain't her husband. It's not her husband. Nah,
Okay.
nah, it's just her,
Her boo.
her dating person. Cause I don't even say boyfriend and that girlfriend and shit. Like that dating, like they look at dating different than we did. Like when somebody say somebody messing with somebody, like they know they be seeing them. Or you could just be smashing somebody and people just know, like, oh yeah, we just mess around. Like they ain't nobody serious. But now situationships, right? So whatever their case is, like it's pretty serious because dude, he's spending money on her, like you know what I mean, and not no little bit of money. Like so, I'm like, you spending money on her, so you claim her like to a certain extent. So I'm saying like, yo, like you entertaining a local dude, he not like nobody in the industry, and you doing it for free, posting them on your page and stuff. It's not cool if you're in a relationship. And she like, yeah, but it's not like that. You know, I got mad followers and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, but do you help your man with his business? You know what I mean? If you don't help your man with his old business, then why you helping this, this dude, this random dude with his stuff? Like, you know what I mean? That just don't look right. Yeah, that just look crazy. So that's what I'm saying to her. But here's the thing. Here's why I say the whole thing. She apologized to the dude after I had a conversation with her. She apologized to her man. She was like, "Yeah, I told him like I didn't think that was cool. That was whatever. I don't know why he makes such a big deal about it. I ain't do nothing with the dude. He's like, yo, but it's the principle. Like this dude,
When you knocked it. When you got up, you just knocked it off a little bit to the left.
The left?
Yeah, the left this time because it moved that way.
You saying your side?
A little bit more to the right. Yep, that's good. Thank y'all.
but yeah, I don't know. Like, what do you think about that? Like,
I think what you think. I think, you know what I mean? It's a little fucked up. She did apologize, but at the same time, it's like some niggas don't want to hear that apology shit.
is it
Especially
is it that serious? Though you think it's that
especially
serious?
when you apologize and at the heart of what you say is I didn't feel like I needed to apologize.
Right. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Because like now it feels like that's just not genuine. And if it's not genuine, then yeah, you might as well move on. Because obviously she don't think shit's a big deal, and he thinks it's a big deal, and that's going to be a problem down the line.
Right.
It's like yo, nobody wants to be with somebody who doesn't understand etiquette and
I
morality.
mean, well, a lot of women probably aren't gonna understand why that's such a big deal. Why men are so territorial. Why men might be the term insecure in certain situations because they might not feel the same way that we feel in the
But
situation.
that's my thing.
Is it our responsibility to make them knowledgeable?
Yes, because
Okay.
we're their protectors and providers.
All right. All right. Cool.
So if that because that's really a provider situation. If
Hmm.
he feels like he's the provider and she feels like it's okay to go out of his jurisdiction and support another man, then that's a no-no because that could lead to issues essentially down the line. And that's where she's not thinking about it. She's like, oh, well, I'm just supporting a friend. But guess what? If this friend was not attractive, you might not be supporting that friend. Like, you see what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
all of that comes into play when it comes to trust, when it comes to moving a certain way. It's like, yo, you can't move you can't move in a certain way and expect a man to just ignore it because that's what you used to.
Right.
Like pretty privilege is a motherfucker. You know, there's a lot of women that think because they've been spoiled and men bend to their will that they feel like, yo, I don't have to say sorry or I don't have to be accountable when their man is upset. But then it's like, but what do you want? Do you want a provider? Do you want a weak man who can't tell you how he feels and you be like, oh, okay, I didn't see it this way, so I'm gonna follow your leadership? Or do you want a nigga that you can run all over?
Mm.
Because it sounds like she want a nigga just to run all over. And if that's the case, then yo, maybe he's not the one because he didn't think that shit was cool.
All
I
right.
bet. So you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It depends on what she really wants. And
But then the other thing, if you are the dude in that situation, what does it look like if you in that situation? Are you the type of dude that's gonna call her names, call her out of her name, make her feel some type of way about the situation, or are you gonna educate her on why the situation made you feel the way that it made you feel?
you try to educate her, but like you said, after she apologized, she still didn't feel like she needed to apologize. So it's not
But
about
that but
educating.
but does that matter?
It does. Let me tell you why.
Okay, tell me.
Because how she feels jurisdicts what
If
she's
she
going
was
to do.
sincere, if she was
That's
sincere.
what I'm
He's saying
saying.
he's saying that, well, the only reason that he knows what he knows is because of her telling somebody else. So she told me that she didn't feel like she needed to apologize for the situation.
Which is why.
So that's why he's saying what he's saying. But in my mind, like if she did apologize and she understands that this is, whatever I feel how I feel, then that's enough for me. You apologize to me. All right, we can move forward. All right, you understand. Don't let it happen again, type of shit. And that's let it be that. But the guy was more emotional about the situation, like, calling her a fan and a groupie and shit like that, making her feel low even after she apologized for the situation. She didn't think of it that way. Cause these women that are like Instagram chicks, when they got like 30,000 friends or whatever, you know what I mean? All these people that's gawking over her and shit. They got that pretty privileged mindset, you know what I mean? Like I could get all these niggas, like what, like you should be happy that I'm fucking with you type of deal. So it's a privilege to fuck with a chick like that, you know what I mean? She might be on paper or just from the visual, she might be, she a dime or she fire the way she look, you know what I mean, on paper. But her inside, the way she is as a person, is ugly as fuck. So that is a turn off with some niggas, but some niggas would, she could get a nigga.
And that's pretty
If she want
privileged.
to get a nigga, she could get a nigga. But
That's
now
pretty
a nigga dealing with you, giving you the world, giving you all of this, you can't entertain other niggas like that. And so what she should be thinking about is like, yo, this nigga taking care of me, this nigga looking out. I'm not gonna exploit myself online anymore because that's kind of look crazy. Like you dealing with a girl that's fire, she online or something like that. You like, damn, she bad. Would you want her to still be online showing her titties and showing her ass? That's what I'm saying.
But at the same
That's what I'm
time, if
saying.
you catch her online and that's her bread and butter, I'm
You
not
already
gonna.
know that, yeah.
Yeah, you
You
know
gonna
who
try to
she
see
is.
it.
But if you're doing means to try to take her out of that situation, a lot of times they're doing it.
Don't need nobody that is like
And that's
find somebody that's
But
already
then a lot of a
that's
lot
where
of
I
times
think
they're doing
I
that.
feel you.
They're doing that. Why? Why are they doing it? Most of the time. Why do you think? Do you think they're doing it for the attention, or do you think some of them are
It's
doing it
start
because
it's
they're
off
the
trying
for
to get
attention.
money, but
profit?
then once
Okay.
they
It's the attention.
stay and see how much money they're getting, you don't want to stop no more, even after they reach their goal,
I, I
whatever.
I think it's the attention period because if you think about it, how many women have mad followers and not getting no money? You see what I'm saying?
That part, right?
It's
Well, I
it's
feel
it's the
like
attention. It's they're addicted to the attention because, like I said, like it makes them feel
but they didn't
validated.
choose to have
Like
followers.
like
People just follow
you
them.
said you said that she
It's
has a
different
certain
than being a
mindset,
stripper.
right? She has a certain mindset because she has all those followers. And this is what I'm talking about. I think it's the mindset. Like, yeah, the money
But
is
I don't think
cool,
it's the followers. I think she's self aware. I mean, she's an attractive girl.
but this is what I'm saying. Pretty privilege just says fuck morality. I can get shit off of the way I look because people think I'm attractive. That's pretty
Okay.
privilege. So if she's pretty, you see what I'm saying? You have to have that humbleness. If you don't have that humbleness, then guess what? That shit is gonna show in your relationship. Is you're not gonna care about certain things. You're not gonna care about how the nigga that you're talking to feels based off of because guess what? You already chose the attention of online over him. You see what I'm saying? And then as soon as he has a problem with it, well, you met me online like that, or well, you know what I'm saying? I get money, so you know what I mean. You try to have every excuse on why it's okay to disrespect the man. I understand, and I'm not saying that he gets no, you know what I mean?
You
Exactly.
expect him to now change that. Like, you should find someone that's closer to the type of person that you want, and then if they're arguing, it'll be less that you need to work on.
Mhm.
And stop trying to change people because most people are not
Are
listening
stuck in their ways, and
That person
I
might
agree.
that person might look crazy though.
What do you mean?
Like yeah, the person because a lot of times you want,
then fuck their character
Yeah,
and
true.
don't try to
but
change
that's
it.
what
This is
guys,
what comes with
but
it.
that's what
Only focus on what's
most
there.
men want, a woman that look good when they work hard because they feel like they earned it. Like you work hard, why you want to give all this? Why you want to give all this to a mediocre or a chick that's like the bare minimum? Like if you got enough to get, like when these rich niggas when they fuck with these baddies or whatever, why would they settle? But hold on, listen to what I'm saying. Why would you settle for mediocrity when you work so hard and you know that most women, hold on, listen to, let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying. Why would you settle for mediocrity when you know the majority of women think a certain way regardless? Just like women say, "Oh, well, I'd rather get a nigga that's got money and gonna cheat on me because ugly niggas gonna cheat on you too." Well, that's the same thing about niggas with women, right? Niggas with women, right? You why settle for women that don't look good when a woman that look good might not listen to everything you say, but a woman that don't look that good not probably gonna listen to everything you say anyway. So why don't you take the lesser of the two evils? You know what I mean? Like at least shit, I got this blazing ass chick who don't listen all the time, but she listens sometimes, and she fucks. So shit, that's a win for me. And if she don't get her shit together, then kick her the fuck out. Versus getting with a ugly chick, having 3 kids with her. Now you can't stand her. You gotta look at her every fucking day. And now you mad as fuck. This bitch don't listen. Now this bitch could take me to the cleaners for everything I got. Damn, I wish you at least look good. At least I go to court like, damn, another nigga that got used by a baddie. But shit, you look crazier when you in there with an ugly ass chick and you getting used, nigga. Like what the fuck?
I think the
Pick
point.
your poison.
I think the point of being high value is not having to settle what the average man has to settle for.
Right,
So
right, right, right.
if you are a high value man or a high value woman, it's like what validates the value. If it's attention, that's not really valuable because you can't pay for attention. You could pay for it in clicks and you know what I mean, monetization, but you can't pay for it in values and morals. If you could pay for it in values and morals if you're a high value man, because what do women value? Money. So if you
Okay.
have the money, you should have the option to say, okay, yeah, I could deal with you, but if you start tripping, I'm gonna replace you because that's the value. Like, why would I deal with somebody who's not gonna listen to me,
Exactly,
regardless if they
exactly.
look good? You see what I'm saying?
But especially if they look ugly, nigga, what the fuck? Why you wasting your time
He
with an
wouldn't
ugly
even,
chick that don't
yeah,
listen?
he wouldn't even do that. But
Tell that bitch to shut the fuck up.
the only reason a dude would fuck like not fuck because niggas will fuck a lot of bitches
Niggas will
regardless.
niggas will
But
fuck a vacuum.
yeah, exactly. But the only reason a high value man is gonna have sex with an ugly woman is because of the loyalty. Because she's going to be more loyal than a pretty girl who feels like she's spoiled and shit. You see what I'm saying? Because you got to think about how many women in the hood that are never going to fuck with a rich nigga. You see what I'm saying?
Stop worrying.
And that's just the reality of what it is. So those women will do more to keep the high value man than the one that has 30,000 followers on Instagram or Snapchat
That's why
or
they be
whatever.
saying, yo, get a chick that work at McDonald's
Y'all have
or
this conversation by yourself, or you gonna let somebody else?
you had to say something because I was about to say something. Oh, I ain't see your hand up. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay,
I'm
that's
rolling the
this ain't
J.
even one of the topics anyway, but I guess
It's
this
not,
could
but
be an icebreaker. But nobody said to date a person that's ugly. There's a spectrum, like from a dime to like everyone has dated people or been in relationships with people that wasn't a 10, I'm sure, but maybe they were still attractive. That don't mean you automatically ugly because you're not a 10. And usually the people that are less attractive, like you said, are willing to do more, and you're gonna have to sacrifice something. Like that don't mean she ugly just because she's not a 10. Like there's average looking people that, but you want that, like you said, she ain't gonna, or you think she ain't gonna listen anyway or whatever. So it's like you,
yeah, but you're not gonna be with an average looking woman if you got bread that's not listening. Like that don't make sense. Like why you gonna be with an average chick that's not? Yeah, you want a blazing woman that listens, or a blazing woman that don't listen, but not a ugly woman that listens or don't listen. Like if you or ugly or never normal, whatever. If you a normal at best or 6 at best or something like that, and which it's not bad. That's cute. But you a 6 or something like that. Yeah, if you listen, but if you a 6 and you don't listen, it's a waste of time, bro. That's a waste of time. The fuck?
It's a waste of time based off their value system or whatever.
Nah, it's a waste of time because if you could get a chick that look better, then why would you be with a 6 that don't listen? Is what I'm saying. But go ahead.
If you want somebody that listens, you need to find somebody that listens. There are attractive women that are a dime that will listen to, but like you said, if you have value and they're not doing what you want them to, then stop fucking with them or whatever. You have value, which means you have options, so you don't have to deal with that if she's not listening to you.
No, I
That's
fuck with
number one. And
a
if you
blazing
look,
chick that don't listen.
but that's not all of them, is what I'm saying. If that's what you want. But obviously, like I said before, looks are more important than if she listens to you or if she's submissive, right?
Right.
Because if she ain't listening, then that means she ain't submissive. But
If you got bread,
and
I
there's
think.
chicks that look good that just lay there and don't even do what you want, and like, yeah, they have an orifice for you to put it in, but they think they too cute, like you said, pretty privileged. They don't have to.
Oh yeah,
do that.
lamers,
So
yeah.
if you want a woman that's gonna perform and please you sexually, chances are, if she look a certain way, it's a lower likelihood of that happening. Like you said, she's gonna want to do more to keep you if she feels like you're a little out of her league or something like that, as
Right.
opposed to a woman that feel like she has options too. So, but that's you have something to say about this?
She was sincere, but he said that he told her that she didn't think she should.
Yeah, and then that's another thing. That's morals too. Like, cause she thinks she looks too good that she don't gotta apologize. For all women that look good don't feel that way or don't think like that. Like, but you that if that man ain't trying to let her go, like, then that's on him. Don't complain about it.
Nah,
Your
he straight
value is in the
ghoster.
wrong place anyway. Oh,
He
well.
ghosted.
Hmm.
Oh, well, there you go. That's okay.
I was like, damn. That's all I can say.
Because the point is to have if you getting in a relationship or you trying to be with somebody, if you want to build a family or something,
Wait, what
then
she do
you
again?
can't have nobody.
She only promoted a rapper, a local rapper from New York, but I guess he like some niggas know him. Like he's semi popular in his town, but he not like worldwide popular or nationally popular or something like that. But he was popular enough for whatever reason to get her attention, and he feeling her kind of. So the nigga know her ex know that the nigga feeling her, and you promote the nigga. So the nigga felt like kind of betrayed. Like how you gonna promote a nigga that like you? Like what are you doing? Like that nigga not nobody special. And then, when I had talked to her about it, I'm like, yeah, that's she was like, but why? Like it's just rap, but you gotta understand, like this nigga do a lot for you. And men are territorial. Like I'm investing in you. I'm spending my money on you. I'm taking you places. I'm acknowledging you as my chick, bringing you around my fam, so dealing with you and your children, stuff like that. Buying your kids stuff, feeding your kids, stuff like that. So I'm doing all of this, and you promoting the next nigga that's not doing nothing for you, whether it's a big deal or not. If it's not any compensation from it, then it's just a waste of time. Why you doing that? And we got something going on.
I promise you, if the shoe was on the other foot, she would feel away. I promise you. So she's just acting out of ego.
Well, she ain't gonna play with no nigga. Like I mean, her words not mine. I'm not gonna play around with no nigga that ain't taking me serious. But I'm like, yo, that's what you do. What you did ain't really taking serious.
Yeah.
But that's why I said she did apologize, but she didn't feel like she was wrong.
Thank
You should have
you.
known better than that.
She should have. I think she should have. Yeah, I think she should. I would agree with that.
Just sharing stuff, but if you know that you like you shouldn't even be interacting with
That's crazy.
whether you sharing
Right.
shit or whatever is going on.
That's my only thing. Like this nigga feeling you. Why you But that's the thing. When a woman feeling herself, sometimes they behave that way. They behave that way. And as I said, you gotta punish the bad behavior.
Because if you try to build y'all in a relationship, not fuck what you look like. Obviously, I don't want no ugly man either. But what I'm saying is, we both, men and women, put more value on the things that don't matter as they wonder why you end up in this situation. Now you gotta find. He was in a relationship with her, so maybe he was trying to be something or maybe go somewhere. If you trying to build a family or you trying to be seriously in a relationship with someone, you should find someone that values align with yours, regardless of what they look like, because you're gonna have an issue because you worried about what they look like. Oh yeah, you're gonna have cute kids, but the mom a deadbeat or that bitch be twerking or whatever. You want her to teach your daughter how to do that? Like, come on, like that's not.
That's real shit though. That's real shit.
And women too about the money shit, cause I don't agree with that. As long as you're able to take care of yourself, I don't give a fuck how much money you make.
Talk that shit.
Like that, as if that's not the most important thing. As long as you're not a bum and you're not living on the street, you could take care of yourself and do what you need to do for yourself. Like then I respect it. You're doing whatever you need to do to maintain your lifestyle. Like that's all I would expect financially from a man. Like that's not the only thing I factor when I'm looking for someone to settle down.
Look at this fucking shit right
here.
I want to talk about.
Yeah, get to the
Trump.
first topic.
Trump makes a federal contract regarding segregation and federal. Well, they're talking about.
They're talking about he about to put that in motion. I voted for the Indian lady that make collard greens in the bathtub. That's what she said. I remember I used to wash my collard greens in the bathtub. I'm like, fuck lied to you. No, play it again.
Nah, I heard it.
Segregated restaurants, waiting rooms, and drinking fountains. And the segregation clause is one of several identified in a public memo issued by the General Services Admission last month, affecting all civil federal agencies. Legal experts say this change to contracts all across all the federal government is significant. All right, we're bringing back in our legal expert, Khalif Rhodes.
I have a
so
an
they put a
opposing
ban
opinion
on
about
all of the things that say you can't have a white drinking fountain and you can't have like segregation.
Can I say something about this? I
think your business.
I think it was Malcolm X who was saying he was for segregation because that gives black people a chance to have black-owned businesses, black doctors, a network of things that's just black-owned. And I felt like that was probably our most prosperous time when things were black-owned. Now, I understand people's, sentiment with, well, what I mean, it's not fair. If it's not fair, like let's say the black colleges aren't recognized as well as the white colleges, now that's not fair, right? But if it's, hey, the black colleges are just as good as the white colleges, I think we'll have a whole new fucking America. I think we'll have a whole new America if we have our own. Like black people have their situation, white people have their situation. Now, I also believe that if you want to integrate and you want to do it the old way, there should be, a situation for that separately. But I do think that a lot of the things that Trump is implementing could work in the favor of black people if we realize that, hey, we've been under the same jurisdiction for a long time with the integration. And it always feels like the black person isn't getting as much as the white man because, look how hard it is to find a black doctor. Look how hard it is to find, something that's suited just for you. So with the segregation, I think I think it could. I'm not saying it will.
They've done a great job of separating us from each other. It's so hard for us to trust each other. So the problem isn't really so much as yeah, like, okay, I see what you're saying. It could be good because, now black people can have, doctors. You got to first be accepted into doctors to become the department head, like a Ben Carson or something like that. To get to that position, it would take a lot. He's removing DEI. So good luck with that shit, right? So any doctor starting their own shit, and then you do go to med school. Now you build your own practice. How hard it'll be for you to start your own practice and to have people that actually want to come to your particular practice as opposed to going to one of the bigger names. How long have you been around? People is not going to just put their help into somebody that's only been open for a year and a half. You know what I mean? So all of those stumble blocks for us, because we'll have to get over that hurdle and start to trust our own people, where I'm always advocating for, let's support our own businesses. But then you got the black people that's saying, well, if their shit is bad, then their shit is bad. I don't give a fuck if you black or if you white. That defeats the purpose for what you're saying. It's not going to work when you got people like that.
Yeah.
You're going to have to look past that and actually look at color. You're going to have to be like them.
But this is my point.
It's not total segregation. They're just saying that he removed the ban because there was a ban on working with contractors who have segregation at their facility. So people at their business, they have the option now.
Yeah, to say it's a white only business. Yeah. Right. And you have the option to do that. That's bringing racism more open.
I think
putting it back out there.
Could be bring racism more open, but I think, like I said, I think it also could open up the doors for black businesses in a way we never seen before, or in a way since Black Wall Street, or in a way like
if black people use it the way that you're saying, right?
I think
if black people use it the way that you're saying, right?
People are not going to change.
Hold on.
Right, exactly. They're still gonna buy iPhones. They're still gonna buy Jordans. They're still gonna buy all these white shit that white people have created and made money off of us for so many years. Is still gonna continue to happen. The thing that some woke black people might decide that they're gonna do it, but those woke black people have to create their own businesses, like they're telling other people to support other black businesses. It's got to start with you.
I think it has to be forced because black people by themselves is not going to take initiative to do that shit. This is the only way it's going to happen. We're not going to go to war. Black people is not going to say, oh yeah, well, we're just going to go to war and then we're not going to fight for our rights. So this has to be the way to do it. Because how else are we going to do it? How are we going to sit here and complain about the injustices of black people and what we don't get when we finally get a chance to have our own, and then we're saying that it's not going to work because of the lazy black people? No, we don't.
Yes.
No, we don't. Not in the racist America.
They have grants, and they just was talking about this on the piece. And they have grants and stuff, but people don't look for them because.
Oh yeah, it's hard.
It's not about
it's hard. It's hard to get those business to government contracts.
That's why.
But you could get them.
To be a radical change.
You could get them.
Grant isn't gonna do anything. Look how long we had grants. Look how long black people have been taking. You see what I'm saying? Once you're forced to do some shit, black people are the kings.
Most people don't look into.
You want to know what black people are? You know what?
But it's not impossible.
Hold on, let me just say this, and then you could cook. You know what the best thing about black people? We know how to make fucking diamonds out of mud. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
We know how to fucking take a bad situation, right? Where guess what? We're at the lowest part of the totem pole and make it to a high ass spot. And then guess what caps it? Racism. Guess what caps it? Oh, I can't get the higher paying job over the white man. You see what I'm saying? That caps it. So once you say, okay, we're gonna even out the playing field, and now this can be just the black owned businesses. Yes, there's gonna be a lot of people that's like, oh well, I don't know how to feel about that, but I think it's going to separate the weak from the strong-minded, I think that's what we need.
It's going to be harder for them to find patrons if you make a play for black people specifically, because when black restaurants and stuff open up, everyone comes to it, not just black people. 100%. But a lot of black people don't support other black people. So if you make a business that's just for black people, you're probably not going to have as much business if you stop the other people.
So let's focus on that. What is the answer to having black people support more black people? If it's not segregation. No, I'm not saying do it now. I'm saying how can we get that mindset where it's like the majority of black people say, look, we got to stick together and we have to do this. Because I don't think there's any other way that black people is going to say, look, we got to stick together and doing it. Why? What's my evidence? What the fuck? Where is it? Where is it? We don't even trust the NAACP. Nobody around this table knows what the NAACP does without Googling it. That's facts. So this is what I'm saying. These are these
The NAACP is ran by
I'm not asking who it's ran by.
people.
I'm just saying.
These corporations and stuff, it has a white person behind it.
Exactly. Everything you're saying is 100% facts.
Are they really doing what they're saying?
Everything you're saying is 100% facts.
They're being incentivized to do it. That's the only reason why.
Exactly. Everything you're saying is 100%, and this is exactly why we need black-owned businesses. We need to be forced in a position where we have to either succeed or fail completely, because we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it out of initiative. Nobody's gonna figure this shit out and just do it without there being some type of pushback. Usually from who? The government.
There's pushback.
The government. A whole city of successful black people was burnt to the ground. Why? Because of the government. Because of the government. This is cool as fuck right here. I just want y'all to know. But just because of the government. So once I start seeing these laws by Trump start passing, and then what's that saying? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's how I'm really viewing Trump. I'm not gonna front, cause he's making a lot of people that don't look like me uncomfortable. You see what I'm saying? Yes, there is some people that do look like me that is not with him. My mother is one of them. She don't fuck with Trump at all. But you gotta see the bigger picture sometimes. And just like we were saying the last pod, certain people have certain characteristics in their personality where you have to say which is really the lesser evil. The person that is racist and lets you know they're racist, and this is how I stand, but guess what? If we get in paper, we could get paper. Or the person that is racist doesn't let you know they're racist and keeps your people at a certain level, and they could never, exceed that level. I'd rather take the racist person that could say, well, shit, if you could get me money, then I'll appreciate it. You see what I'm saying? That's just my take.
I hear what you're saying, but like I said, I don't think that making this happen is gonna make more black people come together and support the others. And I do agree. We live we live in a system of white supremacy. So there are barriers put up to stop us, but they're not. There still are some black successful people or who have own businesses. They were able to get loans. You just have to go through the process. You have to have a certain amount of credit or a certain credit score or whatever. But this is a problem though. Just because there's barriers, that doesn't mean it can't happen, because we see examples of these people. So you have to, even though there's steps, people get discouraged and they give up and they don't want to go through their process because they feel like it shouldn't take that much. Everybody, if you apply for a loan, has to go through some process. Like, maybe white people, their process is not as lengthy as ours, and I know depending on what part of town you live in, you get different options, but it's still available to you. You just have to work harder to get it, and that's that. They're not actually stopping you. They're just putting up barriers, but people have broken those barriers. So if that's something that really interests you, then you should seek out those people that have been successful and that look like you and ask them what they did to get there. So because it's being done.
Let me make a perfect analogy. When America was a part of England, right? There was a lot of things that they wanted to change, but there wasn't. They couldn't do the change. Hold on. Let me speak. They couldn't make those changes in England. So what did they have to do? They had to go outside of the norm. They had to go outside of England to say, yo, we could go over here and make those changes over here. This is the mentality that black people need to fucking have. You cannot make the changes that you're talking about, and even if you can, it's not going to exceed a certain amount of people. Why? Because you're in the same situation as the Americans that was in England. They couldn't make the change until they came to America. And this is what I'm saying. This is our chance. This is our only chance, because we're not going anywhere. Black people are not going back to Africa, especially native people. Like, the indigenous people that look
Don't
just
you got a paper towel? Put that under it. I
especially
don't know why it leaks.
especially the native people, the indigenous people that look just like us, they're not going anywhere. So what I'm saying is, if Trump is changing the dynamic of the government, right? And he's saying, you know what, I'm gonna radically change everything, and it's gonna be totally different from the regular America. He's making a bold statement, which a lot of people that want to see us suppressed or oppressed, people that want to see us in these situations.
Deep breath.
People that want to see us in these situations.
Breathe in. Breathe in.
It sounds like Darth Vader.
When I say breathe in, you gotta breathe in so you could light it. Breathe in.
But yeah, people that want to see us in these situations are cool with Trump being impeached or out of power. Why? Because it's fucking up how they normally are. It's fucking up their normal, government. It's fucking up their normal way of living. And if you agree that it is a white supremacist, that's their way of living. You can't just bunch Trump in that once you start seeing. You can't just bunch Trump in that once you start seeing more benefits coming from his ideology or his era than Obama's or the rest of the fucking presidents, for that matter, unless they got murdered or unalive like JFK and them. You see what I'm saying? Like, there has to be a separation of state or country for it to be a change. And if it's not going to be a change, it's going to be the slave mentality where, hey, being a house nigga is better than being a field nigga. You see what I'm saying? Because guess what? Every person, I'm not calling every successful black person in America a house nigga. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, once you have a success and you understand that it's not economically fair in as far as race is concerned, then you're accepting what massa is giving you. So I could go to those people and say, yo, I want to get rich and fuck my people. But that's not my fucking journey. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to bring us together and have it more fair and have it, you see what I'm saying, where there isn't a government in play to fucking shut you down like they shut down the Panthers or they shut down all these other black groups. There has to be a separation of country to do that. You can't do it in this country and expect real change because we haven't seen it. Ever. There is no point in history where it's like, yeah, some people will get it, but I'm talking about the masses. I'm talking about the majority of black people. And I personally believe it could be done, but it has to be some type of separation, whether it's segregation, whether it's a separate, like we get reserves, like how the Native American has the reserves for the casino. It has to be some shit like that where we get recognized as indigenous, or just the black Americans can get recognized as indigenous. You know, I have so much faith in that. I'm not even gonna probably get paid, even though I was born here, because of my lineage being outside of America. I'm not foundationally black, but I still want to see that for black people because I have trust in my people. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, you've been gone.
I'm sorry.
So
he was cooking.
I
was cooking. Thank you.
But
my bad.
like I said, I'm still saying the same thing. Like if they, first of all, most people don't even care about opening a business in our community anyway. They want to buy Jordans and wait in line and that and wait till the new order come out, buy a bunch of shit that don't have no value and just waste money to try to impress other people that's on the same level as them. And like, or they want to go on social media and see what the celebrities, see what. Huh?
It's a social media facade.
Yeah, and then they go and then they see these people, these celebrities, and they want to act like them or whatever, but it's like you're not them. You don't have that type of money. And I think it starts at home. Like we can, no, I'm not talking about trying to. You can't control what other people are gonna do. We can't change something by ourselves, but we don't have our own stuff together. So you gotta focus on you first and your family and your loved ones. Go through the steps. If whatever you're trying to do, if you want to start a business, look it up. Go speak to somebody that actually has a successful business that looks like you and find out what they did to get on that level. You got to get yourself right first. Then you could be able to bring other people up. And it doesn't matter right what the laws are, because right now there's nothing stopping you.
Do you
Like, yeah,
think
there
it's
are
harmful or
barriers.
better for us?
There are barriers. I think if they do that, like I said, if somebody open a black business, when black businesses open up, when they have a grand opening, we are not the only people that show up. Probably more ethnicities show up than us to go support a black person. So if they make that, I mean, that doesn't mean that people are going to do it. That just means you have the option. They're allowing people to work with people that have those uh clauses, that have you have a white fountain in
I
your
think it would
facility
be
or
like
whatever. That
business
doesn't mean that
suicide.
everyone is
I
going
think
to
it would
do
be
it.
business suicide for the companies that are mostly supported by black people to say white onlys for their goods or services. If they have storefronts that actually say we don't we don't serve black people, they'll
That's
lose
not
more
me.
business.
It's not.
Huh?
Yeah.
They would be canceled. They would be canceled. Yeah, right. We
Yeah.
got this whole cancel culture thing. So
And that's more
I
important than what's
think
physically
I
going on
think
now.
I think that I actually agree. Actually, for once, I actually agree with OD. My nigga.
No, Chris is
On
saying
this.
that they should do it.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
saying that they shouldn't.
Yeah,
They
no,
gotta
I'm
be
saying
forced. You
I'm
gotta
saying
be
it's a
forced
good
to do
idea.
Thank you.
I'm
You
saying it's a
said,
good
but you
idea.
just said they would get canceled if
No,
they
no,
did
no, no,
that.
no, no, no. Listen,
Let them cook, E.
let me
That
cook.
doesn't
Okay, let me
correlate
cook
with
then,
your-
and maybe you'll
Clarify.
understand. Maybe you understand.
Big
So the
dog.
reason that I'm saying that it might be a good idea is because forcing our hand, there are gonna be some people that's gonna be like, you know what? F that. If Nike doesn't want black people to come in here, then I'm gonna get these Yeezys. You know what I mean? It might literally be a reverse of what maybe they're trying to do. Maybe they're trying to bring back superiority of their race. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what he's trying to get, but it's going to backfire. It's going to backfire in this current time state because the way that things are right now, like black people have more control financially than they really know. It's just we spend money on shit that we don't need. So that's the only reason why we in the way that we're in the position that we are. But if we pour our money into our own, which I'm an advocate for, then we would do better. But like I said before, I don't think that black people would support each other like, to really like do it unless their hand is forced and you see how much these people don't really care about you. Once you actually see that and you can recognize that, then maybe some people will wake the fuck up and then be like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking go to this black restaurant because they don't want me in KFC no more, and they don't want me in Popeye, so I'm gonna go to Charlie and James. Even though I don't like them or whatever the case may be, but they are a black owned business and they do got food and they have brought themselves up to still have their business open and pass the food regulations that they have to pass. So let's give them a chance. You know what I mean? So maybe it would advocate for more black owned businesses to become more prominent during that period because people might start to boycott because it'd be like, yo, this shit ain't right. Like, why the fuck would it be okay for you to say black people can't come in here? Like you know what I mean? So
Right, but
it could work out in our favor.
maybe, but I still think it starts at home. So we're not trying to change, or you can't change the world from, you have to build yourself up to be able to do that. So I do still think it starts at home. You got to build yourself up for whatever you're trying to do. Whatever you can legally do now, you need to do your research, or whatever you're trying to do, and start that process. But a lot of people think that we're being told that you can't do this or you can't. Yes, there are barriers. And then you want to feel like, oh, I'm not jumping through hoops. I'm not. Well, don't jump through hoops. But whatever the laws are, we can't control that. But what the laws are now, yes, there are barriers, but you can do it because we've seen other people become successful. And you could say they're master or whatever, but if that's you just gonna give up and be like, oh well, I'm gonna stay like this and wait till they make something that's in favor of us, so I don't have to work as hard. Everybody got to go through some challenges of every ethnicity to get to wherever they're trying to be. It's not the same. It's not equal of what for each ethnicity, but everyone has to go through it. And if everybody just sat there and be like, oh, I'm just gonna wait until they do this, so I'm just gonna stay where I'm at now and just do what I'm doing now, you're still working for master. Because if you employed by somebody else and you waiting for a paycheck from them, if that's your narrative, if that's how you feel about people that are successful at a certain level that are black, then you would we would all be considered that because we all work for someone else, a white person that's paying us. So
Can I ask you a question based off something that you said? You said it starts at the home. Can I ask you if, let's say, the majority of black people agree with you, started at the home, do you think that the government would retaliate in a way that was in detriment to all those black people figuring it out and starting it at the home, like you said? Do you think that this government in 2025 would let that many black people in America band together,
they
figure it
might,
out?
but you can't let that
You said
stop
they
you.
might?
You can't let that just because
No,
there
I
are
want to know.
adversity. That doesn't mean just give
It's
up and
it's not
don't.
it's not
Because that's the
adversity.
reason why
It's not
they're
adversity.
doing it. Because they want us to give up and they want us
It,
to just be like, okay, I surrender and I'm just gonna stay at
I'm
this
not saying
level
that.
or whatever.
I'm
So yeah,
saying
it could happen. That's the answer to the
I'm
question.
saying it
But
could
just
never. I'm
because they decide to do that, like Black Wall Street when they burned that down, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't try again because we're still living in the world. You gonna go kill yourself, unalive yourself because the world is hard, and some people do, and it's sad that that happened. But you shouldn't have that mentality because if everyone thinks, if more people thought like what I said, then it probably would be higher. We would have been rebuilt the stuff up. But nobody,
I
everybody's just listening to that, or they have that victim mindset where I get
I
it
don't
or whatever. But it's like we just because you're aware of how this started or where we're at in life and that there is no equality, there's probably never going to be that. So what do you do about it?
I think a victim mindset is the mindset that you just described as everybody just feels like it's not going to work so they don't even try.
That's
This
what
is
it
not
says.
hold
It
on.
said
This is
don't
not
go
what
through
I'm
the
saying. This
obstacles
is
to be
not what I'm saying.
successful
What
because
I'm
they're
saying, hold
trying to
on,
stop us.
let me cook. This is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there has to be a certain separation of what the fuck of the morality and the mentality of everybody as a collective, as all black people as a collective, to say, look, we have to do something about the conditions that we are in. And the example I gave was in England, right? When people in England weren't satisfied with England, did they say, we're going to take over England in England? No. They had to get out of England and go to America and say, no, we are Americans now. We're not English no more. So we're not going to abide by the same rules in the same spot. If you're saying we have to be in the same spot, and then
We don't
another,
have to. We can do what
hold
you
on.
want.
Yes, you did
But
because
this is our
yes, you
country,
did.
so too. If you were born up here, you lived up here. So why
That's
should we
my
have to
point.
leave?
That's my
Like
point.
that's
That's my
crazy.
point. But we don't
That's
get
giving
ready.
up.
Hold on. She just said this is our country, and a lot of people were born here, indigenous to this land, and that's exactly what I was saying. Guess who? What other indigenous nations gets some type of reparations or gets some type of separation from the regular shit? Indigenous people. So if the indigenous people, like the Native Americans, have reservations, right? Because of the injustice that happened in their shit, because it's really their shit. And the colonials came over and took that shit over, right? So if they had to do that to get that, what I'm saying is when you say segregation, when you say certain things, that reminds me of those times when those people had to get separated from the whites and how they were running their businesses. And what did they do? They picked something which could keep them successful and has them successful to this day, which is the casinos. So once black people have that separation, then it's not the victim mentality, it's the mentality of progression, because guess what? Now we are separated from source and we could do our own thing. But if we don't have our own thing, then how could all of us succeed in it when it's not our thing and it was proven to be racist to this day? It's never going to happen. All I'm saying is it's more realistic
First of
to
all,
have
people
some
have to
type of
want to do it.
You're right. You're right.
So just because the law changed, not gonna make people want to do that.
I'm just
no matter what they change the
look.
law to.
I'm just
Some
saying.
people probably will help them, but
Mhm.
it doesn't matter. You have to do stuff regardless of way, unless you are gonna leave the country, and we're all still here right now. So that's a valid. You could say you could do that, but if you here in this country right now, what are you gonna do while you're here?
You
You're
have to
gonna
have
just
your own, and that doesn't start with integration. It starts with segregation. It does. It
well,
starts
right
with
now we ain't
segregation.
segregated. So.
Exactly.
So
But
you,
who's
so
trying?
what are you doing now?
My
That's what I'm
thing. My thing is,
Because
what?
no matter what they change the law to, you
Mhm.
still need to maneuver a certain type of way. So, because you're saying, oh, people that are successful at a certain level, they looking up to master. We all are. So no matter what level you get
Nah,
at,
not all of us. You know who's not? The people that is trying to fight for our rights, the people that's trying to fight for civil rights, the people that's trying to fight for equality and equity. You see what I'm saying? Those people
who's
aren't.
fighting for it? Talking about it, or people that actually taking action?
So we're fighting for it just by giving our opinions and having some black boys and girls say, "Yo, I fuck with what they're saying because it resonates with me." There's just because you're talking doesn't mean that you're not doing anything. You see what I'm saying? It depends on what you say and it depends on who it resonates with. And all I'm saying is somebody may be seeing this pod right now and say, "Yo, this makes sense." Like there has to be some type of separation for us to exceed those limitations because integration, we've been integrated for a long time in America now. And like he said, there is some examples of some real successful blacks, but it's not a whole bunch of us.
Because a lot
It's
of
not a
people
whole
don't
bunch of
want
us.
to.
And this is what I'm
They're
saying.
not even
We
trying
need
to
to
be.
hold on. We need to get into a situation where we have the resources that we need. And that comes with some type of recognition of who we really are. So if we, like you said before, if we are the indigenous people of this land, then there should be some type of reparations for the indigenous people of this land.
Get it, what does that mean?
What do you mean?
So if we never get reparation, what does that mean?
It means that
Don't
hold on, let me tell you exactly what it means. It means that the majority of black people will never get to a point of equality in America.
They gotta want it also.
No, you heard the answer? You heard what the answer though.
As a whole,
as a whole, the majority of black people will never be equal to white people. The majority of black people will never be equal to white people in this country.
We're not.
We're not. Exactly. We'll never be.
I'm not trying to be equal. You could be successful, but that's the problem.
Now we're not trying to be equal.
I never said that.
You said we were oppressed. So if we're oppressed and we're not trying to be oppressed, we're equal to what?
What I'm saying is you're not the president. We don't have no power as people. All you can do is do what you're able to do. If you just want to work a regular 9 to 5, then do that. If you want to do something else, then research that. There are people that look like us that have done what you want to do, probably, and you should seek that out. Regardless of what the laws is, you need to do something. If you're not leaving the country, like what you said, and do that.
I agree.
So you can't just sit. You can say, yeah, we're aware of what the situation is, but that doesn't mean stop yourself from trying to go just because there are barriers.
I agree.
Like you shouldn't just sit there and stay in the same position and don't even try.
Disadvantages though?
Yeah, that's why I said barriers. Okay. But that doesn't mean that just because that's a barrier. Whatever there's multiple.
That's not good because every race doesn't have
I know
those,
that, but that shouldn't stop you because some people have gotten success. Even though they kept on trying, they kept on doing it. So go talk to those
you'll never
people.
Be able to be
but how
recognized.
much do you want? A lot of people are greedy too.
You want enough to
you
be able to help.
A millionaire,
you want enough to be able to help the rest of your people. Because when you make it to the top, you feel bad that nobody else is gonna make it to the top. You feel bad that you're an anomaly because you're alone. You can't celebrate. Hold on one second. Somebody got lighted for it.
Is there weed in it?
No, you gotta pack some more in there. You're not when you make it to the top, you're still not going to be able to make those changes for your culture. You might be able to have generational wealth for your family, but not
100%.
be able to establish generational wealth for your culture. And it's disheartening to some people. Yeah, and they got to make that choice to be like, yo, I'm gonna sacrifice myself. You're going to be a martyr. There's no question. So you're gonna have to openly admit that I'm willing to be a martyr for my people. Like Kyrie, like not really like Kyrie. You know, you probably
Any
would look
opposition.
at it for him to go against what they wanted him to do because of what he did or whatever. But there were still people that stood behind him because he was the only person to really do it. Same thing with Colin Kaepernick taking a knee. Like he was still the only one, but now he's like, yo, give me something, man. I want to get back because you got used to, you got almost here, but you didn't use it effectively because you didn't have a whole bunch of people backing you. If all of the black football players in the league that were really like, good decided to take a knee and they decided to sacrifice their position in the league to do that, or make their own league, right?
People don't even think like that, right? So they have the power.
But that's what I'm saying.
Like if you got bodies, you have the power, but everybody got to think the same way collectively. They don't. A lot of people don't want to do that.
But let me finish. Exactly. In every situation, there's a person, a black person, a person of color that becomes what we define as successful, making it, becoming the best pop star, getting a few Grammys, or becoming the best movie star, getting a few Academy Awards, or becoming the best whatever you do, you know what I mean, and getting ESPYs in football and all this other shit. That's when you be high as fuck. That's when you think that you've made it or whatever.
There you go.
But
you got it.
As a black person, you didn't really make it for your culture.
Got it.
You made it for yourself as a person. Which is still lit.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? That you made it, because a lot of people don't even get that. But the dude that was claimed to be the richest man in the world, the smartest man in the world or whatever.
Oh.
Some white guy, I showed you guys a video a while ago, but that guy.
Oh boy, yeah.
He's a farmer and shit, right? Mm-hmm. And then the idea, right, is to be self-sufficient and not have to rely off of the government and just rely on your land. He figured out how to do that. He's got his own everything on his land. He's not super rich. He's not trying to take over the world. But he made one thing clear. The people in control of the money are the globalists.
Thanks.
So if you're not in that elite group, you don't want to play ball, you'll never make it to the echelon that you need to make it to in order to help your people. So some people will just take, well, shit, I made it to a billionaire. I'd rather just be a billionaire and keep my money. I don't want them to take my money from me. So they're happy with that and they'll die with that. But when you die, you can't take it with you and you can't do nothing for your people. So it's like people that are really rich are only going to be really rich because of the people that the people that allow them to get that paper. But if they don't allow them to get to that level,
I can't even breathe.
They're never gonna make it.
Where is the laser?
I just heard it.
Oh, yeah, but people gotta change their mindset. For even if we got reparations, a lot of people will waste it.
Yeah, that's true too.
Because they don't
financial literacy.
People, if everybody a boss, where the workers at?
But if we have black schools,
you gotta have people that
taught financial literacy, and nobody was stopping us.
Yeah,
I think we would be farther than we are now.
Yeah,
we don't control the educational
institution. Okay. Exactly. Yep, that's the next thing.
The next topic.
And he getting rid of that, right?
Trump. Yep. Trump plans to sign an executive order closing the Department of Education. What does that mean for the future?
That means we got a chance to do our own thing.
Is that good or bad?
That's great.
It depends what his reasoning is behind why he's doing it.
Yeah. Exactly. People that can afford private schooling are gonna be gonna have the leaders of our nation.
That's cool. We need private schooling.
Go ahead, but are you getting it?
Yeah.
trying to kill me. But yeah, him closing down the board of ed, I mean, that's crazy work because
First of all, a lot of people are gonna lose jobs.
that's one.
And what is the reasoning? I would like to know the reasoning behind this, like why he's doing it. I actually have a video.
Because he's trying to take out the federal government.
He wants to cut.
He's trying to change
unnecessary
this whole
funding. His plan is to cut unnecessary
and it's federal.
funding.
I think he's trying to take away federal and replace it with fucking Elon Musk, Doge. I think that's what the fuck he's really trying to do.
A clip.
News has just learned that President Trump plans to sign an executive order closing down the Department of Education. The move fulfilling a campaign promise to shutter the agency, which has long been a target of conservatives. But it's unclear how he'll legally do that since Congress needs to sign off on officially closing a department of this kind. The order would be the culmination of weeks of effort by the Trump administration to wind down DOE. Trump's education secretary, Linda McMahon, has overseen a roughly 50% cut to the agency's workforce, which she has called the final mission of the department. The education department oversees tens of billions of dollars in grant money to schools across the country. But conservatives for years have said control of education should be returned entirely to the state.
Remember she got stuttered?
They say
That's crazy.
Senior White House correspondent Garrett Haig, who joins us live tonight from the North Lawn. Garrett, I mean, this just breaking, but walk us through what do we know about this order at this point?
Yeah, Ellison, I'm holding a copy of the fact sheet that will accompany this order when the president signs it tomorrow. It is the culmination of weeks of work from this White House and decades of work within the conservative movement that has long viewed the Department of Education as something of a boogeyman. The order directs the Secretary of Education, in this case Linda McMahon, to take every necessary step she can to facilitate, this says, the closure of the Department of Education and return education authority to the states.
I like that.
Information we've been given from a senior administration official to say things like Title I funding, student loans, and students with disabilities aid won't be touched in this effort. Frankly, Ellison, some of this is aspirational, as you pointed out in the lead. It will take an act of Congress to ultimately shut down the Department of Education and transfer its authority back to the states. But the administration can take additional steps, like what they've already done, to eliminate positions within the department, fire career staff, and try to shift responsibilities elsewhere within the federal government. Now, the president intends to sign this executive order tomorrow here at the White House in a ceremony where he'll be joined by some supportive governors, including from Texas, Florida, and Indiana, where they're champing at the bit to get more of this control at state level. But some of my reporting over the last couple of weeks is that other states are not quite as ready, perhaps, to take over this authority. And so,
because they lazy. They don't care about their fucking state. And that's my issue. Now it comes down to the state.
It is,
and if it comes down to the state,
disability and something
will
else
not be affected.
Not being touched.
Yeah.
Because it is about money. Because they said,
no, I didn't say it wasn't about money.
No, I'm saying
I said they were
right, because somebody said it. I'm like, they're right because it's about money. Whoever said that, somebody said. Because they said, oh, this amount of money in grants that is spent or whatever, so it's about money. Like, he trying to put back money into the, because you spend a lot. But it's like,
I said they trying to cut unnecessary funding.
Yeah.
And
that is true.
What do you feel like is unnecessary?
I think it's unnecessary for the states to not know
just
how
crazy
to
because there's been a lot of people, like, I can tell you how I was personally affected by the Board of Education. When I was a kid, I used to get in trouble a lot, and I got kicked out of a few schools. And I remember this lady who worked for the Board of Education, who helped to get me in a pretty good school. It was a white kid school, I ain't gonna hold you. But she helped to get me into school, and every single time I got kicked out of school, she was right there to get me into another school. Like, she never gave up, like, until they found something, and it was like, this the last school we could get them in right now. And if this don't work, I don't know what to tell you, but I ended up, graduating.
Yeah, to close it down entirely, I think they should make changes, maybe. But to close it down altogether,
really be
people
benefit, and then he be
making rash decisions.
Yeah, like the lady, the senator from no, not the senator, my fault. The mayor from Chicago. What's her name? That lady, that black lady. She be mad loud. She just made a rap song and shit.
I know
this lady made a rap song.
She made a rap song.
Yeah, from Chicago. Yo, look it up.
She from Chirac.
Yeah, look it up because I forgot her name.
That's crazy.
Just to put some respect on her name. Like,
what is she? What's her position?
She's the mayor, the mayor of Chicago that made a rap.
That's crazy, bro.
Right? And she was talking about she trying to feed the people. That's in her rap. That's what her rap is. Like, she trying to feed the people.
She made a rap. She looked like
starve the board, feed the people. That's what she said.
She looked like Al Sharpton.
She got 30.
That's crazy. I didn't say that.
Don't she?
She got 30 months.
Don't she is
I don't
crazy.
think so, no.
Yeah.
She look like Al
We're
Sharpton.
not
She
gonna
got-
say yes.
she
Even
got-
if she do,
No, I'm
we're not
nah.
gonna say yes.
Who is that? That's not her. That's not her.
It
Wow.
said Lori Lightfoot, mayor,
Nah, that ain't
Chicago
her.
That's a
mayor.
meme.
That ain't her.
That's
Wow.
a lady.
Nah, look up other pictures.
Wow.
Mayor, I put mayor of Chicago, and that's who came up.
Go through all the pictures. See if you can
I've
find
seen
the
her before. That's
Okay.
her
That's a
because
meme.
No,
I've
that's
seen
not
her.
her. Look, let me see the other pictures,
All I gotta
and
say
I'll
is
tell you
wow.
which one is her.
Don't show that to the camera.
All of them are her.
Nah.
Don't show that to the camera, bro.
Or the senator. My fault. The senator then.
There you go.
The senator of Chicago then.
Or a senator of Chicago.
She's,
How many
'cause
senators are
She's
there?
the first black senator of Chicago.
There's more than one senator, right?
It's a senator for every state.
Oh, okay. Just one though, right?
Yeah.
Shit.
Keep on coming up in all the pictures.
Let me.
There's some men. I
So I
put
can
Chicago senator,
Nah, I'm
and
gonna
I
show
put.
you. When you said Al Sharpton, I was like, what?
Shit.
I've seen her before though,
Yeah.
She a meme.
but I'm saying no. I've seen an interview or something.
I mean, in the meantime,
Who's the mayor of Chicago? Brandon Johnson. That's in 2023. It just came in.
It's not even that deep, y'all. It's like we really try to look up what lady.
Nah, I want to see her. I want to see her rap.
Look up the song.
I don't know the name of the
You
song.
don't know her name.
I mean, how many other fucking mayors is
That's what
on
I'm
YouTube?
saying. I don't
That's
know why
the
it's so
only one.
hard.
She
Just
was
put
coming
mayor, senator, rap song. That shit should pop up first, like.
Right.
Mayor of Chicago rap song.
We'll see who exactly is rapping that shit. She's like, "You really about to do it?" They not like us.
Somebody come up in the video.
You see her?
It's loaded.
Cause that's crazy. The whole of the shit that you could be doing.
That's her.
This is the rap song. This is wild, Smiley. This is crazy. How is this not it? This not even rap. She's like.
So that's not it, right?
But Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
Why is these mayors making rap and music? What the fuck is going on here?
That's crazy if it's another
What
one,
the fuck is going on here,
She a
y'all?
meme.
This shit is crazy.
But she is saying she's the mayor. Every time I type it in, there's videos of her.
This shit is bananas.
It's not showing who it is for now, but that's at 22, 23. But
that's crazy as fuck, yo. That's sad that we at the point where these politicians is making music to I don't know. I don't even know.
Tiffany Henyard. What's her position? Tiffany Henyard. That's her name.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter. Her name is Tiffany Henyard though. Look her up. But we can move on.
Yeah.
Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton.
But yeah, closing.
Dalton, Ohio.
Dalton, Ohio. My bad.
She's from Chicago. Maybe that's why.
She's from Chicago. Yeah, my bad.
Okay.
She made a rap song.
Mm-hmm.
You found it?
Oh, it's called "Feed the People, Starving the Board."
That's that chick that we, isn't it? No, there's some other black girl.
She's
That's a lot of them they don't like
she's
because
ratchet.
she is ratchet, but a lot of them don't like her because she's she's one of the people that's against Trump. Like, and people that's against Trump, they don't last long.
Feed the people.
He be firing people.
You're fired. He's still.
What about this Kenneka Jenkins new evidence?
Yeah, let's talk about that because that's a wild ass story.
So there was this guy called Zach TV, and he was like a blogger. He had
YouTube,
a platform where he would post
content.
Yeah, he would interview people and stuff like that. So he started looking into the Kenneka Jenkins case after they closed it, and they ruled it that it was an accidental death or unalive. So, if you people don't know, this Kenneka Jenkins was a girl. She was like 18 or 19. She went to a hotel party.
Oh, in the freezer?
Yeah. And then she left out of the room and she was drunk, and there's videos of her stumbling down the hall and stuff like that. Um, they found her in the freezer. Like, they couldn't find her. Then the mom came there the next day, and the staff found her in the freezer. No one knows. So what first came out, no one knows how it happened. They just said she got drunk and walked in the freezer. They said she walked in there on her own, and that's why it was an accidental death. She was too drunk to push the door open. There's a button on the inside to open the freezer. You can't get locked in. But that's what they said, and then they closed the case. But there's evidence that there's more to the story. A witness statement came out allegedly, and it details what actually happened. Um, a guy that was there, gave a witness statement that he was there and that he knows what happened. And I'm about to.
You might need to repack that into
Yeah, just go in
It's right there.
You can scoop it up.
Yeah. She knocked
So
it.
I'm gonna,
She moved the thing.
You not in it on me?
Now I'm moving.
So we already know that the hotel probably has something to do with it.
So wait, I was gonna read the witness statement, but I'm trying to return this, turn the other one.
You gotta break it up, right? Break it up.
Just track it.
Just put it in.
Just track it tight.
Okay, so this is what the guy said. He's friends with the person that is actually responsible. They're all responsible because they were there. This really happened, allegedly. On September 9th, 2017, at about maybe 2:30, I went to the Crown Plaza Hotel to chill with my boy Macho, who works midnight security. Maybe twice a week I go there with Macho on his break. We go down to the kitchen area that's closed and we smoke up in the cooler. That's the freezer. Usually it's just me and Macho, but on this night there was an older man who looked like a janitor smoking, and then some young chick walks up, wait, and she walked up to Macho and she said, I'm just gonna paraphrase. This is a long thing, but he basically said that Kenneka, this is a drunk girl that walked up. She came up to him and up to them.
Hey, stop.
So she walked up to them and said, "What you doing, Macho? Smoking that dank or that loud or whatever?" So then he's like, "Yeah, you know it. What you doing here?" She was like, "These girls getting on my nerve. They take it forever. Like I'm ready to go, or whatever." And then she was like, "I feel funny." And then Macho said, "I can make you feel better or feel good or something." And then he proceeds to undress her, and he said that they all took turns and raped her. And then the guy that she recognized, Macho, tried to do it again, and he bit her on her chest while he was doing it. She got strength to smack, because remember she was drunk, so she couldn't fight through other things. So she finally was able to smack him. Then he slammed her on the ground. She hit her head started leaking. Then he put a plastic bag over her head, allegedly. and try to suffocate her. Then the other two guys, the guy that's the witness that's telling this, and the guy that he said looked like a janitor that was there too, they stopped him. Then the guy Macho, he turned the freezer on, put her in there, and closed the door. And she was still alive. She was kicking and screaming or whatever, but she died from hypothermia because she um, she was also drunk. She probably went to sleep once they closed the door. So that's because she could have just pressed the button to get out. She wasn't, but she hit her head. Who knows? She was already drunk. She could have just passed out, and then she got. They said she died from hypothermia. So then this person, Zach TV, he started looking deeper into it, and he interviewed some of her friends, some of her family members.
Kind of pushed off a little bit. Because now I'm cut off. Gotta move it to the left. Yeah, that's good. Let's move over to.
You keep saying it like the left.
The left is this way.
Cause you're on the
opposite.
opposite.
My
of the
bad.
me.
Yeah, my bad.
What I was about to say? Oh, so Zach TV started looking into it. He interviewed some of her friends, a couple of her family members that was like around her age, one her best friend, and he interviewed them, and then all of them, like, well, I don't think all of them, but there was like, I think 3 guys that he interviewed, they were unalived, and then the guy that interviewed them were unalived. So I don't know what happened, but there's a conspiracy saying that the hotel trying to cover it up.
Can you text him when you get a chance to tell him we recording? I don't know if he
still trying to
pull
pull
it
it
out.
out.
I don't know.
But yeah, because
Got it. They can't be spelled like that.
yeah, so they're like that's weird that and people were telling him to stop investigating it before that happened. Like they called and warned him, and he went on. There's a video of him talking to someone, and she was telling him to stop. She was like, "It's getting dangerous, baby. Just stop. Stop investigating. Just leave it alone." If the family moved on, to let it go. And then shortly after that, he was unalive.
I mean that does sound kind of right.
This fucking shit, right?
Kind of crazy.
Huh?
This one right here.
That's
Oh, yeah.
I need to pull
Not
it
to
out.
hold it, though.
Probably not freeze it.
You can take it off now.
Yeah.
Nah, you can take it off now.
Open it and look at it.
Oh
As
yeah.
long as it's not, spreading this shit. Let me hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always. I mean, my only take on it is them talking about Ariana. They doing all this for Ariana Grande.
Selena Gomez.
I mean, my bad.
Oh, yeah.
My bad. Same difference.
They're not saying that it was done on purpose. I think what happened was an accident, like that part, what they said. But then the hotel just didn't want to get held
trying to cover up
accountable
things for Disney stars. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just crazy to me.
Not for her, because they don't want the backlash. Because it happened from an employee that worked at their company, and then people are gonna be like, "Oh, this is what you got going on at your hotel. I'm not doing business with you, or I'm not going there."
Right.
I don't know about the Selena Gomez part, if that's true, but I do think that somebody did do something. And then and there's a video that wasn't in the original footage that shows somebody pushing like a tray, and there's a garbage bag on it. Like, in the tray they push stuff around the hotel, it got wheels on it. It could sit. It got a table on the top. There looked like there was a garbage bag up there, and the shape looked like there was a body in it. And then there's another scene of someone dragging a garbage bag down the stairs, and that looked like it had a body in it. The shape looked like a body. But people could have edited that. It could. They have technology. You could do all that. We don't know. But this is what I've come
Watch that
across. A
cord.
lot of people have been making TikTok videos and talking about it, and they showed the what's it called?
And do you think if we had as many followers as old boy had, and we're talking about it like how we're talking about it, they would come after us too?
Oh yeah, I think I know. That's why we could just go, man. I mean, you can say what you gotta say. What do you think? Do you think?
I just think there's some foul play, obviously, and they're trying to cover up something, but we probably will never know because whoever wanted it covered up did a good job, and in the court of law, that shit is ruled as an accident. So they're not gonna overturn it, and the people that have enough influence to bring light about it isn't gonna speak on it, and it's very unfortunate, especially the fact that she got raped, and you know what I mean, like that was horrible, and then this from some people that you knew around the way, and you just trying to be cordial. That's horrible, you know.
And then in the video when he interviewed some of the people, like one girl, she was her best friend. She was crying actually
Yeah,
before they started
absolutely,
the
she's
interview.
crying.
So then he asked her what happened. So she was like, we went to look for her because I know that she was gone. I asked somebody, they were like, oh, she went to the bathroom or something. Then she waited a few more moments. She still ain't see her. So she was like, y'all, let's go look for her. And there are videos of them walking around the hotel, like down there trying to find her. She said she saw the security and she asked him, "Can you help us find her?" And then the guy Zach TV said, what did they say?" And she was like
She
she
knew.
she didn't say anything, like, but she looked like, no, like we can't talk about that or something.
That's crazy.
And then one boy that was her cousin, he was like, he said it like he was saying it as if he think that's what happened, but he said it in a way like he know that's what happened.
Yeah,
Like
she
he was
probably
like
told him.
they beat her up, raped her, and then locked her in that freezer.
She probably knew. They probably threatened her, and then she told her cousin, and she made her cousin promise that you couldn't tell nobody because I don't want
No,
anybody to.
not that the girl was her best friend, and the guy was Kanika's cousin.
How long ago was that?
This came out. I don't know when this information was released, but I just started seeing TikToks and Instagram posts of people talk about it. Then I searched it up, and you can't find. All you can find is the videos of people saying that this will happen, and but you can see the videos of like what I said, but there's no legal like document saying that they ruled it as
An
accidental.
accident, so it's over, and that's what happens so many times in these cases when they want things to be quiet. They rule it in the court of law. That's why I said, like, in order for that to change, it's not up to the court of law or it's not up to the people that hold the power or that hold no power. It's up to the people that do hold power. The people, I gotta smoke this shit because my paper's downstairs and I'm not getting that shit.
I got papers.
Oh, you do?
They not in that thing in your box?
Nah, I had empties in there.
Oh shit.
Hey, you got papers? Can you get them, please? Thank you so much. Here, you ready? So are you.
Damn, you had to suffer that whole time.
I did.
Man.
It was only a few hits. They're gonna kill me. But fucking yeah, that's fucking crazy. That shit is so fucking crazy, and I feel so bad for her family. I feel so bad for.
How do you feel about her family possibly taking a payout? What do you feel about that?
I feel like if they at least got something. I don't think the family really knows what happened or can't prove what happened, and that's just part of the system that we in, bro. Money talk. It's a capitalist society, and
You think that's cool? Like
I don't think it's cool, but at the same
everybody
time,
has a price, or
not even that. I just think that it's better to get something out of this situation than nothing.
okay.
That's the only thing I think. I don't think it's cool. I don't think, you know what I mean? I think if your kid is already dead and they had no answers, you'll never get the real story. The least they could do is pay you.
Now, what that price look like for your child?
I mean,
anything?
No, it gotta
10,000.
It gotta be over million. It gotta be
okay.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't take it. You gotta kill me too.
You wouldn't take 10,000?
If that's what.
You wouldn't take any amount of money? You mean?
Yeah,
That's
because
a noble. That's a noble.
real shit.
statement.
You could be if you're on your Batman shit and you're gonna be a vigilante.
If I
you're
got
gonna be
other
like,
kids,
I'll take the fucking
nah.
things in my own. You know
If
what
I
I'm
got
saying?
other kids, I'm gonna be
Then
practical.
by all means, that's different.
If I got other kids, I'm gonna be practical. Can I use this money?
That's what I'm
To
saying.
help my
bro.
other kids, you know what I mean?
That's
At
what
least
I'm saying.
could I use this money to start an organization for awareness for my kid, like Malik Jones' mom?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You can't talk about it though.
huh?
You can't talk about it. They won't let you.
She
do
was
it.
talking about it. She had a whole
Yeah, but
fucking
then
thing.
she stopped eventually because.
Shit,
And then
she-
there was a
She
video.
got her licked though.
There
And
was
she
a
got
video.
people know what happened.
There was a video of them coming out the office, and I don't know. I think it was the same day when they came to look for her when they found her. Her and her, I think that's her daughter, or I don't know, the girl's cousin or something, Kenneka's cousin. They came out of the office with the security, and they were like having the time of their lives, like just giggling.
Who?
And,
The mom?
yeah,
After she died.
I think that was when they came
One of these
there
gotta
to get her. Because why would they keep coming back? As they already found, I mean, you would go to the cops and talk to them and stuff, but why would you keep going back to the hotel? But I don't know.
Laughing? That sounds like something wrong.
But again, technology.
Laughing all the way
Yeah,
to
it
the
could be.
bank.
Yeah, it could be AI.
But yeah, maybe they was happy they about to get that money. So
But
they
that's
already-
crazy. Not
and,
only
and
the
people,
kid,
and they from Chicago. They
But
probably
that's
took
what
a
I'm saying.
low
What
offer.
if? But I'm saying, what if?
That's
Because they know they needed
Because
it.
they like hood rich.
Yo, y'all about to lose y'all apartment. You know what I mean? Y'all low $3,000. We'll give you $6,000.
That's crazy. For
Yeah,
$6,000.
that is crazy.
And
For their kids.
and two dinners at the Cheesecake Factory.
Yo.
Wow, this is not.
That's
me
property.
But
making
you
a
gotta
joke.
get your own way
That's
there.
not,
That's
that's
property,
not funny,
please.
Dwayne. Smiley.
That's different. That's way
Shoot,
different.
what's the best price?
Millions, bro.
I mean, if I'm already well off, I could understand, like, I'll fight this until, whatever. But if I don't, yeah, I mean, something like OD said, something is better than nothing, I would say, because most of the time, I mean, you're talking about people from Chicago, they probably wouldn't give you nothing anyway. So I'm surprised they got something out of this instead of just, an article in the paper.
But if you really think about it, when things go viral like this, usually the parents do get some type of compensation.
Yeah, when they do a GoFundMe.
Not even just
but
that.
But not just from the government. I mean,
just
from
by
the city.
No, not from the city. I'm just talking about endorsements, and it brings popularity.
But
to
yeah,
that.
like that. That's what I'm talking about.
Well,
yeah, the GoFundMe.
Because I'm pretty sure George Floyd's family is pretty straight now.
You think so?
I think so. I
know they probably had a GoFundMe though.
Yeah, for sure. They probably had that.
Eating off them GoFundMes, yo.
But I don't know. Maybe that's not even the majority of their money though. I think there's a lot of interviews.
Huh? He hilarious.
Yo.
Yeah, he
in a real way.
But
in a real way, exactly.
But
exactly.
He'd be like,
ooh,
yeah,
ski.
Yeah, now.
This guy, man.
He was like, he called me with a nice one, in a real way.
I like the fact that he got like
the 20V, whatever.
The boxing
Woody,
shit?
you see the one with
Yeah, with Woody. Yeah, I was watching.
I didn't see that. They got a boxing one.
Yeah,
and they be squabbling, and Aaron the plumber is a referee for that shit.
Yo, we gonna do the New Haven Pop the Balloon,
shit.
yo.
Hell no.
We ain't gonna. We gotta at least pull up to comment.
Yeah, we can. Don't say that. We're on live.
What?
Respect.
That's not my type of events. I don't do pop the balloons. And
we could still go
you
there.
You don't have to be on it.
Oh yeah, I would go. Yeah, I'm not saying I wouldn't go. I'm just saying, would I want to be on that shit? No.
How do we feel about a pop the balloon? Like overall, like what do we feel about?
I wouldn't
like,
want to participate either, but I would go there and commentate, like you said.
Oh nah, yeah, for support type shit. Yeah, I'm talking about that. But I'm saying, how do you feel about pop the balloon, the culture of it? Like they got pop the balloon Jamaica, they got pop the balloon Africa, they got pop the balloon with that lady.
It's just a dating show.
I think,
but it's not real. I don't think they really take it serious.
To me, it's not. But
a dating reality show online.
To me specifically,
so you think it's like, it's harmless, nothing.
To me,
I think some people be doing too much.
Okay.
To me specifically,
it depends who you have up there as a guest.
Yeah, that's true too. I think it all boils down to what you watch and what you entertain yourself with and what you care about. Because you could be doing a lot of shit, and if you're watching Pop the Balloon, then it's just part of the distraction. That's how I look at it.
So you
That's
look
why
at it as a distraction.
yeah,
Okay.
it's just it's harmless
pointless.
fun. It's cool for the people that, but like you
But
said,
there's no value.
it's not real. So
There's no
if it's
value.
not real, if it's
Is
just for
it? You
entertainment,
don't think it's a value? Well, she said she don't think it's real. You don't think it's a value for the contestants if it is real?
no, because
You don't think it's a value
most
for
of
them to
them
actually
don't.
find somebody?
They're fucking them at
Yeah,
best.
if you're interested in it, I don't know, but I don't think most people take it serious.
Somebody got to get married off of Pop the Balloon for me to take
Maybe
it
one
serious.
person might, but the other person might have just came up there to
See what
get
I'm
clout, like Aaron the plumber.
100%.
He be on every reality show,
100%.
everything now, because
Good
he
looking
just
out.
trying to and you started off by arguing with women and then lying and saying that they made you get fired.
He took the
and
recipe.
Then kind of find out you was stalking this girl and you had something in the car recording her.
That's crazy.
While she, you know, and
It's a
people
lot of crazy.
accuse
Yeah,
you
it's a lot of
of
crazy shit
abuse
about this
and
guy.
stuff.
Like I don't know
Like
what's half of it's true and what's not.
But that's why you don't validate the people from these type of shows. Because once you start validating them, you start watching them. Once you start watching them, oh, I like this guy. Like he said, he quoted this man's sayings, and it's like this is what.
because
this
it's
is,
funny.
Hold on, exactly,
For comedy,
exactly.
Because we look up to that.
I'm not look. I'm
Like,
not saying that it's not funny. I'm not saying it's not entertaining. But how you entertain yourself matters. What you think is valuable enough to waste your time and watch matters.
We can pour this out.
You see what I'm saying? It's like if it doesn't matter, then anybody could watch everything, and it doesn't. You know what I mean? It won't affect what you're gonna do.
Freedom of it. Right?
Exactly. It doesn't affect what you'll do in the long run, but I think it does. You think Malcolm X didn't hold on. Do you think Malcolm X didn't have to go to jail and he was Detroit Red? Remember? So do you think that him sitting down and really taking that time to think about his life and his choices, what he decides to do, what he decides to entertain himself with, what happened when he took that time and really had to do that? He became Malcolm X. So when Malcolm X is who he is, he's not like that from watching shit like Baddies on the television or watching fucking Aaron the Plumber on the television. He's like that because of the discipline that he had to say, I'm going to skip these shows for entertainment and thinking about focus on what is more important. And this is not, I'm not saying anything is wrong with it, but if you know it's a distraction, if you know it's television programming, television programming, if you know it's, you just sent me the shit, so I know you know certain things that you watch becomes you because it's always going to be a part of you. Whether or not you think it's important or not, it's part of you because you can say, there was a time in my life that I had this memory of this. Versus there was a time in my life where I had this memory and it inspired me to do something inspirational. But we don't want to inspire. We don't want to motivate. We want to be in the background and chill. And when we're chilling, guess what we're watching? Aaron the Plumber, Pop the Balloon, fucking music videos with bitches twerking and shit. Just bitches twerking in general, porn. All this shit that doesn't get us anywhere really in life.
You don't watch none of that?
Of course I do.
You watch Could Have Been Records.
But you got it. You know why?
You know what I don't watch that shit.
You know what I'm saying though? What I'm saying is, listen. I'm not saying you can't watch it. I'm saying know what the fuck you're watching, and you have to dictate it. Hold on. I'm saying a more disciplined person isn't gonna watch that shit. So listen. So what I'm saying is,
not even in moderation.
Listen. Right. What I'm saying is some people are more disciplined than other people. And you could tell by how they act, what they entertain themselves with, you see what I'm saying? The difference is how much time you spend doing something that isn't going to get you anywhere, and how much time you spend doing something that is going to get you somewhere. but it's on you. And I'm not saying that.
Exactly.
Hold on. I'm not
Why
saying
it shouldn't matter.
I'm not saying it
that
doesn't
feeling,
matter. I'm
like-
saying it does matter because it's the difference in discipline and character. So if we know something, if we're all smart enough to know that something is distracting us, but we're still watching it, the people that say, yo, I need to do better and stop watching this shit, which could be any of us at any given time. The people that think that way is better off than the people that says, oh, well, I'm just going to entertain myself like this the rest of my life and I don't see a problem with it. Because that's the person that doesn't want to change and knows that this shit is rotting them or not inspiring them to do certain things, but they've accepted their fate. I don't want to. I've never been a person that has accepted his fate just because I know something is bad, but I'm just gonna keep on. No, I'm gonna strive to be better, and I feel like other people should strive to be better.
Yeah, I watch the bullshit, but I learn stuff too. I watch shows to learn stuff
But
too,
that's
or watch
discipline. That's discipline in your character.
instructional videos or things like all the time. I watch YouTube all day. I don't even watch regular TV. Like there are shows that I watch that come up, huh?
We don't either.
Yeah. And I even like now I'm watching it. If you were talking about Trump, I never when I was younger I wasn't
You didn't care
thinking
about that.
yeah. Like so I do and even but I could feel like something like I said, I can't watch that uh with that guy.
Which
What
one?
was his name?
Could have been love.
Yeah,
Oh,
and yeah, I can't watch him.
See,
Yeah,
I
he's
feel
just
you on
too
that.
silly. But I watch baddies, but I don't act like that. I don't think you should go outside and be getting into fights with people and acting
Yeah,
crazy
you know
and
better.
stuff.
But some people don't have
it's
that
not
discipline.
making me act like it's not
But it is
influencing me.
becoming you.
Could have been me.
It is becoming
Coulda been
you
you.
because now you know about it, right? Now you could quote certain things from Baddie Shot O'Clock. You see what I'm saying? Certain shit.
Yeah, I said
We can have a
baddie,
certain
baddie, shot
lingo.
o'clock and I tripped.
You see what I'm saying? We exactly. You tripped. That was the universe telling you you know better than that. What the fuck is
Well,
you
you
sitting here quoting
started
that?
it because I was talking about it at the bar. You said shot o'clock or something, and then I was like, baddie, baddie, shot o'clock.
And the only reason I know about it is because
street.
I got a homegirl that loves that shit. She makes she kind of makes reviews on TikTok about that shit, and I support her. So I can't, you know what I mean? If she wants to come over and chill with me, we smoking, and she put it on, I'm not gonna, oh, turn that shit off. Nah, do you? I'm gonna come in your world. I don't mind coming in your world. Just understand that what we watching is rotting our brains. You see what I'm saying? This shit is garbage. It's basura. You know what I'm saying? This shit, but it is what it is.
In a real way.
In a real way. It is what it is. But one thing I do like about Aaron the plumber, he promotes fighting instead of, he said, put the guns down, put the fists up. And I respect that.
He done got it. He was in like 3 fights for no reason.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. He won't fight.
Erika,
at least he fighting.
Thing. And then
nobody
the
dying.
guy beat him up. He was leaking.
And that's another reason why I like him because he took an L. And he took an L, but he's still.
I ain't gonna lie.
He's still squabbling.
A nice one in a real way, you know. But I ain't no bitch.
He not. He not. He's squabbling.
He was mad.
Win, lose, or
he
draw.
wanted to fight again, but he's like, nigga, we already fought 3 times. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Like, you just.
I mean, yeah, you can't win them all. But I respect him for even wanting to do that.
But that's what he did. He thought he was a pretty nigga. Rest in peace to that guy, too.
That's crazy.
He thought he was, do you think, I feel like that's what he thought, because he was just like, all right, come on. Like, because he was like, I saw you talking to them chicks, because they supposed to be up there for Erika Mena. He's like, I saw you talking to them.
Who, the guy in the dreads?
Yeah.
He died?
Yeah.
He got shot when he went home after they finished filming.
Put them guns down.
That's why it was
Jay Hefner.
People was trying to cancel Zeus.
Because she didn't even say anything about it.
That they said they be watching people up there and then we be knowing that they be dead.
Somebody else died?
It says a few people like that.
I think there was they said there was 2 other people.
That's crazy.
I seen
What's
something.
going on?
I don't know who the other people. One was she went to an audition. She wasn't even on the show, but it was an audition for one of the shows up there. I did see something that they said that she died and they don't know which. And her family was like, she didn't live wherever she was, so they don't know why she was out there.
I mean, Zeus is suspect in general.
Aaron the opponent said they sadistic too. He said all the
people there. They named after Greek characters.
Yeah, I was just about to say
He said
that.
they made his name. They changed his name from. They changed him
To Piper, right?
Pied Piper.
Yeah.
And he said that if you know the real Pied Piper, he lured the kids.
Kids
away.
Yeah,
and
that's what
to
R.
the cat.
Kelly called himself.
Yeah,
And
He
look,
was a
at
Pied
look
Piper,
at-
y'all. This
He
this
did, he was
R&B.
Yeah.
we know what the industry, the entertainment industry is like based off of, right? All of us can
But
agree that there's some demonic shit going on in the industry.
But the thing is, that nigga knew. Like, he knew who Erika Mena was. He was happy to be on the show.
He's
He
in the-
watched Love and Hip Hop. So, cause he tried to accuse her and say, "Oh, she being racist or whatever." Nigga, it's, you know who she is already. So you seen her. You know that they accused her of that, calling them. Well, she did call the girl a blue monkey or whatever because they was arguing, and then they tried to say that she's racist because she said that.
You know what this shit kind of remind me of though?
So you heard about that, and then you went on the show and you complaining that he just wants attention. He don't care where it's coming from because you knew. And then
This gonna sound
Huh?
crazy, right?
Blue monkey.
a blue
This
monkey,
girl,
like literally,
Hold on,
she
hold
said
on,
that's
hold
she
on.
what
had
she
blue
looked
hair
like.
and she
Her hair was blue.
and
Yeah.
A black
she
girl.
was a monkey.
Yeah, and she called a
She
blue
was
monkey.
mad black.
So check this out. You know what this shit kind of remind me of? Not that part, but you know what this shit as a whole kind of remind me of?
What's that?
Kendrick. This whole beef with him and Drake, and him calling Drake out for, you know what I mean, the pedophile, the pedo, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and a colonizer.
And-
Both of
and-
those is of some
And he calling her a colonizer, and your wife is half white.
I said that.
And then on top of that, fucking TDE, somebody in TDE, I think the main dude, Top Dog, or I could be wrong, just got accused of rape. So it's like, yo, bro, how are you calling out people that you feel like, oh yeah, fuck this, and everybody should be against this person, but then you're ignoring the people that you're around, and it's cool. It's like, yo, we can't do that. If grape is bad, if pedo is bad, if this is bad, then it got to be bad all around the board. And if you're not, you know, publicly shutting that shit down as a whole, like, yo, even though, you know what I mean, even though I'm not in TDE anymore, if this is some shit that went down, I do not support that shit. Just like I don't support Drake. Then that's honorable. But guess what? He not doing that.
Jamal in the chat. What's up,
What up?
Jamal? He said in the real way.
In
Real way.
in a real way. Real shit. Like, I don't know. I just think that it's very similar because you're saying that he's talking about the same industry that he's ignoring certain things that he wants to be a part of. It's like if you want to be an entertainer and you know that the root of entertainment is some weirdo shit, then don't be mad when somebody call you a weirdo. Like, yo, all of y'all are weird. You see what I'm saying? It's not just some of y'all, it's all of y'all because y'all understand that to get to a certain point, you got to do a certain thing. And that's just what it is. And it's like if you ignore what that thing is, then you're never going to get past a certain threshold in the industry, in the entertainment industry. Actors, rappers, fucking whatever. Like, yo, like entertainment, especially the black entertainment industry. Because it's very different from the white entertainment industry. 100%, they don't have that cap, if y'all know what I'm saying. They don't have that criteria where all of them have to do certain things to be successful. Yes, the top elites probably.
Their success has a threshold.
You know how I see it?
Like they're gonna get successful. They're gonna get sold out shows and all of that, but not like Selena Gomez.
You know how I see it? I hate to be biblical with this shit, but I see it as if they're stars, right? They have to be fallen stars because the Hollywood Walk of Fame, you walk on the stars. It's not like stars being hung up. So they're on the ground. They're fallen stars, right? If they're fallen stars, then somebody sound like he got smacked outside, smacked the shit out that person, whoever it was. But yeah, like I feel like the industry is full of stars, so they're like the fallen angels if you really think about it. So when we say, oh yeah, the Illuminati run that shit, they're the top, they're the most high as far as on the demon chart, right? And their subjects is the influencers, which is the celebrities. That's why you'll see certain people on Walk of Fame and you'll be like, why is this person on the Walk of Fame? Because they did what they needed to do. They filled a certain quota of souls to entertain, to or inspire ritualistically to do something to another person. Because you know how many people have watched a John Wayne movie and thought that they was self-consciously didn't even know they was killing some other race, thinking that they was a cowboy or some shit like that. You know how many people have watched fucking gangster movies and wanted to be just like Al Pacino and wanted to be just like Robert De Niro and wanted to be just like all our fucking fucking what's my nigga Styles name? The Ghost Panero.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like Scarface the rapper, fucking, you know what I mean? There's so much influences looking up to that ceiling, which is the stars that we look up to. But they're not the real stars. The real stars is the forces that's trying to say that, yo, there has to be some type of order to this, or else it's going to be hell on earth. Or else y'all gonna be tricked against y'all position of to the most high. You see what I'm saying? That's why. Well, I don't want to get too deep in that shit, but I really think there's a correlation with celebrities, what we consider celebrities, and fallen angel, as far as maybe they're not maybe they are not as powerful as the demons that they put in power or put them in power, but they have power over people that idolize them by watching they shit, entertaining they shit. You see what I'm saying? Remember when Lil Uzi was on concert and he was like, well, y'all all going to hell because y'all listen to me.
Mhm.
I think he meant that shit. I think he meant that shit. I think there's an energy.
Somebody was talking about
His what? Influence on JT?
yeah.
What? Yeah, that shit's
No.
spooky.
Talk about his concert and it was like
A little demonic.
yeah.
And that's not the first time we'll hear a rapper talk about this shit.
And they showed clips from it and it was like and they kept saying they chant his name in the beginning. Uzi, 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 and then it sounded like you saying Lucy because they just kept saying
Yeah,
it.
because it's
And
yeah,
then,
and you don't think that
and
shit
it's like
has.
a horn lady on the screen, and she said they counting down and they saying they just keep saying Uzi, Uzi, and then there's flames. Like
It's like what inspires a
the
rapper
rock
from.
stars be doing that.
Hold on. What inspires a rapper in the middle of the hood in Philadelphia to say, you know what? Not only am I gonna go emo,
You gotta come in.
me.
You too.
Not only am I gonna go emo, but I'm gonna go like straight up Marilyn Manson with this shit. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna make a name that kind of sounds like Lucifer if you say it slow or fast. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going to associate myself with a 666 with upside down crosses. Remember Tyler and them used to do that shit too. You know why they stopped? Because they started realizing that now that we're in this industry, we can't play with certain symbolisms because nigga is not gonna turn out how we want it to do, how we thought it was gonna be. It's meaning more. Like think about it. Tyler used to come out and bash women in his bars, and he was on his rock star shit too. Then when he gets in the fucking industry, he's like, oh no, I gotta get more melodic with this shit. Let me start, you know what I mean? Like he's still different, but he's different in a way like almost like white boy rich type shit. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
But he stopped with all that, you know what I mean, talking about women shit. He stopped with all that fucking demonic shit, and now he's just on some I'm just trying to be cool and you know what I'm saying? Like just make cool ass music, which I'm not mad at, but what made him say, you know what, I'm gonna stop talking about this specific topic? Cause nigga, it was everywhere. It was on all the merchandise. Upside down crosses and weird ass art. Where's that shit now? Now that shit is not the same, my nigga. And I gotta believe it's because he saw some shit that scared him straight, or maybe not straight. Maybe it steered him into another way because he be painting his nails and he's alleged to be a boyfriend of Jaden and shit. So I don't know. Maybe he just took a different route and like, yeah, I'd rather be portrayed as this than the demonic shit. I don't know. But yeah, man, this industry is fucking weird, bro. This industry is weird as fuck. The entertainment industry is weird as fuck, and I promise you, they're gathering our energy, doing stuff with it that we have no idea about. I promise you. Remember when we was on that fucking stage in Wallingford and we was performing? Like the energy that you felt being on that stage, knowing that all those people was watching you and shit. My nigga, this shit. What if I told you this shit could be harnessed, nigga? What if I told you this shit could be harnessed, nigga, and stored somewhere else, or in something else, or it fed something else with that essence of power, my nigga? Like all I'm saying is we gotta be careful on what we entertain ourselves with, why we like something, and how much time we give to it. Because if we are our thoughts, right? If we are what we think, then what we think should be positive, right? Because if it's negative and we are our thoughts, we could get ourselves sick by tuning into certain frequencies, right? That's all I'm saying, big dog.
I got a clip from Anthony Mackie talking. I seen some where it said he got canceled for saying this.
Young man, good. However you feel about that,
That's crazy.
I don't know why he would be.
The American male. Come on. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities. For one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. Good. However you feel about that, you feel about that. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open a door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. They will always be men. And that's always since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you're the man of the house. You make sure these doors are locked every night, this alarm is on, you text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up. I love that. Because we're men. If I'm not there to protect, he got to be there to protect. Because you can have all the money in the world, climb through the window, that money means nothing. Yeah. You can have all the celebrity in the world, jump through the door,
That means nothing.
Celebrity means nothing. So you got it.
I agree on 100%. And if they're canceling that, then that means that there is a force or a group of people that doesn't want that masculinity to be instilled in the young men. And that's a fucking problem. That's a motherfucking problem. That there is a group of people that had a problem with that, so they decided to cancel that man for
I knew
teaching
they was
his
gonna cancel him
for
because of that
teaching
new,
his kids.
Captain America movie.
Oh, that shit was trash.
Yeah,
Oh no.
it was free on YouTube.
Damn. You're lying. Oh,
It wasn't. It came to theaters, but he was able to watch it on YouTube. He's saying that.
how though?
Because somebody put it up there. It's down
It was
now.
HD too. Yeah, it's not out there no more, but I caught it somehow. I don't know.
That's crazy.
People always be putting new movies up there, but I
didn't know
I
that.
did
I
watch
didn't
it,
know
but I
that.
fell asleep.
Not that
late.
quick. That just
I'm about
came
to
out.
say, I didn't know that. They put Deadpool out, but that's like now, like the old Deadpool. You know what I'm saying? I wish they did.
Because they be putting it under a different name until then. Then they eventually.
It was kind of sad because he was making a lot of like racial. The movie was kind of like little racial, little jabs here and there inside the movie. Certain things, you know, I'm the new black Captain America. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? It was just kind of crazy. And I was just thinking about it, I was like, yeah, his mom gonna get him in trouble. Cause you was Clarence and 8 Ball, my nigga. Like,
Parents have a real good marriage.
so chill, like.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But what he said was some real shit. Like,
Exactly.
honestly, like the problem with society is that some traditions, like, because a lot of old people have rules that really haven't improved their life. We gotta understand where we are in the pecking order of society as our culture. So, like, as black people, we need to be we're stronger together than we are separated. But if we're gonna be self-sufficient, then we have to understand what we can work within. You know, the means of what we can work within. You know what I mean? Like, we have technology, like we have the ability to work, we have the ability to get funding for stuff. We have to first start saving a certain amount of money, build that up, have an account for a certain period of time, have a certain amount of money in a certain period of time in order to get a more substantial loan. That's how that account matures. But if you got money in there and you taking it out, oh yeah, I put $1,000 in there, but by the end of the month it's $30 in that account. That's not helping you. They have to be able to see this amount for at least 60 days. And it's hard for a lot of people to do that because a lot of people don't manage their money. They spend their money how they want. They can't make that period of sacrifice that's necessary to actually make that step that can actually improve their means financially if we're talking about improving your odds independently. And then we can talk about us supporting each other's businesses and shit like that and whatever, but we got to figure it
That's what
out.
I said.
But
Starts with
but
self.
we got to teach each other that. But when other people have it, we don't fucking step on their fucking shit. They already got it.
Yeah.
So let's learn from them, or
That's
let's
what
help
I said.
them.
Ask
You know what I
someone
mean?
that's already done it or
Absolutely.
already doing
Absolutely.
it, how they did it. And when I went to the bar the other day, I was talking to the owner, some person. He's the new owner. He took over, and I was asking him a question. I was like, what advice would you give someone if they want to start a business? And he was nice. He was having a conversation. He was giving me. He was like, first you need to be confident. Um, so you need to be and you need to focus. And he was like, and you need to like having good social skills is good and stuff like that. Be open to criticism.
Mm-hmm.
But he what was I about to say? Well, who was talking?
You?
You.
Um, oh, I just want to say I agree with most of what he said. The only thing is, and I do still agree because, like, but with the man of the house, that's a lot of responsibility to put on a child. But he has to learn at some point. I think it benefits others. Like, say if your father passed away or something, he had to do it. Like you had to help and be there, but you couldn't fully be a child yourself because you had to do that. So there's a downside to it, but it might be necessary sometimes. But yeah, I think you should. And 15 is like you're getting in 3 years, you're gonna be considered an adult by the rest of the world. So you gotta like, and I don't think what he said was crazy. Like just make sure you lock the door every night and call me when you wake up and call me when you know.
Routine.
And like yeah, that's that. And he's in a position to where they'll be taken care of anyway if something happened to him.
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, but if, like he said, the money don't matter. If somebody in there, you gotta be ready to protect the family if I'm not there.
That's probably teaching him how to shoot.
I don't know.
Because if you're 13 years old, what you gonna do? Fight off this grown ass man? You can't. So you gotta
15,
teach. You got 15.
That's the oldest. I don't know how old the other.
Yeah, I'm just saying. He's saying that to me, it sounds like he's speaking.
If you know cry from cry.
I don't know. Maybe he did teach him that. He got the resources too. For real. He might have told him some shit. But the way he was speaking sounded like he was like, "Yo, you do whatever you have to do to protect your mom," and that's not just with your hands as a 15-year-old boy. No, that's gonna teach him how to shoot. And fuck all that. You know what I mean? Oh, he's holding the gun and he's 15, and so what? That's what men have to do, protect, right? So what's the limitation? The limit to, oh, well, you just gonna wrestle a nigga that's stronger than you? No. The only way you could really protect is to bear arms. Because if that motherfucker come in with a gun, or if that motherfucker is just stronger than you a rap. And your mama. So I don't know. Like I said, I agree 100% with what he was saying, and I think that shit is necessary in a black community. And I feel like the only reason why it would be canceled is because the people in power don't want the black community to think that way. That's the logical reason why there's like, oh, he's canceled for saying what he's saying. Is because if we all thought like that, we would be better off as a community.
Cancel is really a thing. They always say that.
It's not. It's bullshit.
Some people have lost funding and lost shows were canceled or people stopped working for them. But for the most part, they don't really be canceled. Like it ain't fucking up the bag.
100%. Because it's he say, she say.
Yeah, that's just
all it is.
Opinion.
But that's what I'm saying. Certain
it can affect you, but you always gonna have your core fan base that's gonna support you regardless.
You can't care about the ceiling. You can't care about the ceiling because there's a ceiling there, and if you speak about certain things, if you talk about certain things, even though we're having this conversation, and you might not think there holds power to this conversation, it can, because like I said, all it takes is the right motherfucker to see this shit and be like, yo, they're making a point. And that could change the whole trajectory of their fucking life. You see what I'm saying? So for him to say certain things and know that he's at a level where he's at, where what he can say influence a lot of people, there is powers in play that don't want certain messages to be out there. So
and he's quote unquote Captain America. Like, you feel me?
Yeah, they cancel him, but now they can cloak behind the cancellation and really do detriment to his career and his life just because he's sending a certain message, and he's supposed to be in an industry where you can't talk about shit like that. They want their fucking celebrities to just smile and sign autographs and shit. Or take pictures. They don't want them niggas
to. It's crazy.
We don't want to hear what
say some real.
We don't want to hear what Ja Rule thinks about the economy, right? We don't want to hear that shit. That's a Dave Chappelle joke. Now I'm not talking about.
We know he gonna say the economy is murder. It's murder.
Yeah, it's not wrong with y'all.
That's hilarious. Shout out to Ja.
Yo, being a single mother isn't. I'm sorry, being a single mother isn't a flex.
It's not.
What do you mean by that?
It means it's not a flex. It means it's nothing to be proud about. You kind of are at a disadvantage when you're a single parent. So why would you be happy about it?
Who's flexing being a single mom?
The people that are getting money from the state and are being very lazy and taking advantage of taxpayers' money to just live a lifestyle where they don't have to fucking do anything all day. So they can smoke weed and
single mothers think that taking care of a child by themselves, just doing it all by themselves.
She's gonna say the same thing I said. Watch.
We don't. We don't think it's a flex. You think that we chose to live? Their dream is to have a 2-parent household and a backyard with a dog and a pool, and a husband go to work and come home and lovey-dovey and watch movies, and it ends like that. You have to understand that. See, mama's babies, daddy's maybe. A mother always has to stand her ground and be there. A daddy can run off. Mother's got to stick around. Even when that child is 18 and older, we still got to be there. See, understand this. Not only did we choose peace for ourselves, we chose peace for our children.
Let me stop it right there and say, first of all, I'll always like...
That's peace for your children, to have nobody to support and nobody to raise your son to be a man? You think you could? Do you think that you could raise a boy to be a man by yourself?
Just, I can't raise a boy. No.
Thank you.
You're not supposed to. People weren't meant to be single
but
parents.
She said that's peace. She said that's peace.
Well, she's clearly already got an attitude, and she's sitting up there screaming. So,
100%. So, you know.
That's how she be talking to her kids all the time, too. After she get on live, she gonna go curse them out.
100%, because she's mad. Because she's mad about her decision. She's not happy.
Is being a single mother raising a son like Ray Charles, is that a flex?
Yeah, because he's Ray Charles,
he's financially successful.
Yeah, he made something of himself.
I mean,
once you make something of yourself, it's a flex.
He had a wife. He had children. His kids good? I don't know.
Ray Charles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're straight. Right? They not fucked up. We would have heard that on the news so quick. Oh, another black man not taking care of his kids. Even after death. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
we'd have heard that shit so quick.
He made a slogan that was popular for Pepsi for a long ass time. You got the right one, baby. Uh-huh.
Oh, that was him? I thought that was Pops.
That was Ray Charles made that Pepsi commercial. That's a long time ago. And it was like he was playing on the piano. He was like, "You got the right one, baby."
Oh, that's what I heard Pop say that. Sing that. Maybe he was singing that song.
He probably did say that.
On the Wayne's Brothers. Yeah.
That sounds like something you would say.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with these people. Well, she's saying, do you think it was a choice? But it wasn't. If you say you chose peace, then I'm assuming that you decided to leave. Like, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if he was choking.
You choked her out.
She didn't exactly. She didn't choose peace when she chose that nigga. So all of a sudden we supposed to honor the fact that she fucked up and then she tried to correct her fuck up.
She didn't notice the red flag.
No, you didn't correct your fuck up because now you're doing it by yourself.
Was 3 clotheslines.
Now you don't have no help.
How you get through? You got back up and he got you again.
That's crazy.
What's wrong with you? Then he got you again after that. Like, wow.
Kitty cat, you like that?
Nah, I'm not lying. I'm not laughing at domestic violence. I'm just saying.
You like that?
DV. Can't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry, DV. My bad. But I watched the video earlier today. Shout out to Jesus said he was reviewing a video of a young lady that says she got with a dude in November and was pregnant. Can I say that?
Yeah, you should. Why can't you say pregnant?
I don't know. You never know.
This is crazy, bro.
She got pregnant by a dude in October and they had a kid, and she gave him and he gave her a STD. And she stayed with him because she wanted a family. And then when the baby was born, they was doing crazy stuff. Like he would leave the baby outside of her house. Like a whole bunch of stuff. Whole bunch of crazy stuff. But this went on for, like maybe a year or so.
Oh, she's wilding.
Right?
This went on for a year. You left your baby outside. You didn't care about your baby.
The family turned it back on. The baby was
outside for a year?
She got jumped. She got jumped by some chick while they was all standing around.
It's crazy.
And he let this girl jump him.
What?
Jumper.
Yeah,
it was just mad stuff that just was going on with this girl. And she, I don't know. I don't really want to say like this is kind of dumb. Like, why you wanted to have a kid with this dude? He didn't want to have a kid with you. You still did it anyway, and then went through all this crap for like over a year.
Moral of the story is don't force nothing. Don't force a relationship. Don't force a baby. Don't force nothing.
That kid
if you're
gotta
forcing
suffer.
It, exactly.
You put the kid outside, bro.
Exactly. If you're forcing
it outside,
if you're forcing
your kid
anything,
is on the porch.
It will not.
Like, yo,
if you're forcing anything,
not even funny, but that's crazy.
If
left a note on him.
Text her and said it.
Look in his right pocket.
If you're forcing anything, it will not flow properly.
Tell him don't touch it.
Ever in life.
You like,
Nothing.
I'll put $1 in there.
You force sex, you're going to jail. Yo, I'm telling you, like anything with force, the only force that you should be able to use is the force outside of you. That's the only force they want you to use, is the force outside of you, like planes and jet propulsion and shit that could get you places. But you can't use no force in American society without there being a consequence. You can't force a conversation. You can't you can't force your way into a place that you're not supposed to go.
Yo, you can't even hold somebody that try to steal your car. Like if you got a firearm on you and they try to come up on you with a knife and you pull out your gun, like, all right, put that knife away. And then they gotta put the knife away, because I mean, if they smart. And then they get in the car and then you be like, now sit here and put your seatbelt on and wait for the cops. You're gonna go to jail.
You can't use,
and they can press charges.
You can't use lethal force.
Right?
You can't use any force.
So
basically.
the only thing you could do,
you can't force a basketball shot. You can't force it.
The only thing you could do
is make believe it.
Gun put them and drive off.
Nah, that's force, nigga. That's force.
Listen, nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
And then you drive off, right?
Funny.
But that's all you do. You can't take them out though.
You know,
even if they come in your house, you can't take them out. There's so many rules.
You can't.
That's crazy. You gotta go. You gotta lock yourself in your room and call the police. The only way you could go out, this is a funny little loophole. The only way you can go out is if you're like, you got like a family dog and you gotta go out, the family dog, and went in the kitchen. And you gotta go down, so you got your gun on you. And that's your story. I had to go down and get the dog. I forgot Rufus was, in the kitchen swarming around doing things.
Not Rufus.
And I thought it was somebody, but I know they broke in the house. It's gotta be forcible entry. You gotta think all of this stuff through. You gotta be like, man, I open the door, I gotta make it look like forcible entry. So
Bro.
you gotta go outside your garage, kick the door in from the outside,
bro,
drag the body inside a little bit.
I figured it out. I'm high as fuck, but I figured it out.
What you gotta do?
We're the real Jedis.
Oh shit.
The reason why we can't use force is because we're the real Jedis. So now the white people think that they're fucking Jedis.
Oh shit.
Right? And they use force, the Air Force.
Yo.
The naval force.
Yo.
You see what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
They use force all the time.
Delta force.
Police force. They use force, but we cannot use force. So
There's no black force.
There's not no black force. There's
That's
black
crazy.
air forces, but
There's
you
not
know
a
what
black
I'm saying?
force.
There's no black force, bro. We can't use force. We were
Black air forces.
we were
is
shackled.
our closest.
We were shackled from using our forces, right? Even when we can't use force, bro. Like if you really think about it, and I think they made Star Wars to kind of like put the story in and flip it. You see what I'm saying? Like instead of the force coming from Yoda, which is an alien. You see what I'm saying?
I just watched episode 1 the other day, by the way.
You see what I'm saying? The real force came from the original people. If the original people is the indigenous people and the indigenous people is really us, then guess who was the masters of the force? So now we get taken out of our homeland, put in this land. Now the rules say we can't use our force, but they can on us. Guess what? Now we're not doing as good now because we can't use our natural forces. But when we do use our natural forces, what happens? We usually take over by nature, right? Why do you think black sports or why do you think sports is predominantly a lot of black people? Unless it's, a sport that involves swimming, which there probably is a reason because of that. Maybe the water's too cold. Black people don't like cold water, yo. We don't take cold plunges.
Yo, do you think that I know it's gonna since we talking about this shit, we might as well go down the rabbit hole.
Let's go, bro.
Do you think
that mask got me fucked up? By the way,
since
I
we're
do it again.
Since we're fucking it's possible that there's galaxies far, far away, like in the fucking.
I think galaxies
Star
are close.
Wars.
I think galaxies are closer.
Do you think there's light speed, or you think nah?
I think light speed is a sham, nigga. What it really
is a sham.
What it really is frequency speed, my nigga.
Frequency speed.
I think we could travel frequency, and they don't tell us. If we hit a certain frequency, I think we'll disappear and go somewhere else. Really.
But I think it was speed.
I think frequency.
So wait, so
is
hold
the
on.
real speed, bro. The hertz.
Sound, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you
not just sound.
Sound has more prominence than speed.
Not just sound, frequency. Like
so those are two different things that you're talking about.
Like think about it, right? Frequency, you could go into like an FM radio and you could tune into a different frequency and you hear like something coming from that frequency. You hear the sound of it, you know what I mean? But you have to channel it.
Right.
I think certain channels is tuned to certain frequencies, and those frequencies look different than what we think they really look like. Like some frequencies look like electromagnetism. Some frequencies look like
this
fire.
This is high as fuck, but listen, listen, there's still a speed that we receive these frequencies.
100%.
So that's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
There's either you could say speed of sound or speed of light. What I'm talking about is the speed of light.
Mm-hmm.
The concept of it is that nothing that we have we could even fathom that moves that fast.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. In the Star Wars storyline, they have the existence of this speed of light speed. They have these crafts that can move at the speed of light. They go to mad different planets. They got people that have concerts with fucking aliens and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all kinds of weird shit. Teddy bear aliens, weird ass shit.
Fact.
You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, do you believe that there's a concept of this, even though we feel like the laws of physics can't be broken?
Yes, I do, and the reason why I do is because certain people astral project and they go certain places, and it's eerily similar of their stories and the beings that they claim they see. Like, it's just too eerily. And then, you know, this goes back to like Native American shamans and shit, saying that, you know what I mean, they would have all these visions and yada yada, but those visions kept their whole civilization afloat for how long? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, this shit couldn't just be bogus if they survived by that wisdom. Because this nigga was the shaman is getting high and having these visions, or, you know what I'm saying, just in that element, that frequency, like I said, and is able to do what the regular common folk can't do. You see what I'm saying? He has to be what we call tuned in, tapped in into something other than the norm. And I think that's a frequency, bro. I think our body is at a certain frequency. If we can tap into, maybe it's better to call it a consciousness. If we could tap into a certain consciousness, whether it's Christ consciousness, God consciousness, whatever, just consciousness as a whole, I think that we'll tap into certain powers that we didn't have when we weren't focusing on our frequency and maintaining a certain frequency or raising our frequency. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And I feel and
you feel like that's affected by entertainment.
No, I'm talking about specifically in Star Wars, right? The reason why they were able to see all of those beings, the reason why they had the technology to travel at the speed of light, is because they were already at that point of time tapped into a certain frequency where they were able to see these beings and interact with these beings. You see what I'm saying? They all were at a certain frequency in time in that story that said, yo, we could see Jabba the Hutt and not freak the fuck out. We could see fucking Chewie and not freak the fuck out.
Well, at this point in their storyline, these people are so far ahead of time.
That's what I'm saying.
That this is normal for aliens to just come down and go to a cafe.
And if you think about
it's kind of just like black people, white people, Spanish people.
That's what I'm saying.
Chinese people,
if you
whatever.
think about it, then
There's
that's
all
inevitable.
like,
if you think about it, then that's inevitable. That's a story that's already been told.
But I'm saying technology.
Check this out.
That you know what I mean?
This is what I'm saying.
Everybody having that.
This,
the aliens have
this story
like
was this story was already told. If you really peep the Bibles or the mythologies, what do they say? There's monsters back in those days. There was Leviathans back in those days. Hercules was fighting dragons and fucking
Leviathans and behemoths.
All type of wild shit. So what I'm saying is there probably was a time, especially with the Egyptians depicted, because last time that I checked, there was like walls covered with fucking alligator head, half alligator, half fucking man, half dog, half man, half fucking bird, Anubis, or half man. You see what I'm saying? I don't think these were just coverings, bro. I think people were really walking around humanoid as fuck, but it was just a mix. It was like Star Wars, bro. And this is back then. And my evidence of this is the pyramids. Why is the pyramids aligned to the fucking stars? Why can't that shit be deciphered by constructionists today on what the fuck exactly it is and how the fuck it worked? You see what I'm saying? Why does that shit look like a fucking grid on a computer? Obviously, these fucking this information was foreign to the Neanderthals. Neanderthals wasn't thinking about this shit. You see what I'm saying? Obviously, this shit was marked on the walls in the temples, not as like some storybook shit. They was like, yo, we're gonna put our shit and it's gonna last the fucking it's gonna last for a long ass fucking time. They're just finding out shit about the fucking what's under the pyramids, what's under the Sphinx, why the Sphinx looks half human, or
and they got like booby traps and shit.
Bro, if you watch the Da Vinci Code, you know that they are hiding these things because if the normal people knew how real some of these stories were, we'd probably freak the fuck out. We probably have a panic attack and just think about, damn, there was really giants and shit. Like, damn, there was really fucking, you see what I'm saying? All these fucking weird ass shit. Dinosaurs was really birds, big ass birds and shit. This shit is crazy. Like, yo, we would fucking lose our mind, bro.
Yo, let's talk about what they doing now. Scientists find a new way to make cancer normal again. Explain what that means.
Make cancer cells normal.
Make them
normal. Make them normal cells. Okay. You scared me for a second.
Make
I was
them back
like, make
before
cancer.
they got cancer, the way
that's
that they
how
were
they
before
fucked up Resident Evil and shit.
I have a clip of that too.
Yeah, that's just amazing. But I do think they already have these cures, my nigga. They do. They just
Yo,
jack
I
up the
remember
prices.
like a minute ago we had looked something up. We was at Buffalo Wild Wings and we looked up a patent for AIDS.
Doesn't CB got that or have that? Rest in peace.
I don't know.
Because he cured it. He sure as hell cured it.
He said he cured it.
And he went to court, right? That should be documented.
He had mad people pull up in the courtroom.
Healed as fuck. So I'm just trying to say, like, man, when these people pass under mysterious situations, I just be like, man, like
that's why they had to get rid of them.
This can't be a place where we could just flourish peacefully as a melanated person, a really melanated person. It can't be, not under these circumstances that keep happening over and over and over. Whether it's Angie Stone, whether it's Michael Jackson, whether it's Prince, whether, you know what I'm saying, whether it's whoever was talking different than the masses when it comes to this industry of entertainment. But shout out to Was it an Asian dude who did that?
Which could revolutionize how we treat cancer. Instead of focusing on killing cancer cells, which often leads to harmful side effects, they have found a way to revert them back to a healthy state. Using a digital model of the gene network in normal cells, they identified key molecules that control cell differentiation, the process by which cells become specialized. By suppressing these molecules in colon cancer cells, they successfully transform them back to a normal-like state, effectively eliminating the cancer threat without destroying any cellular material. This innovative approach was tested digitally through molecular experiments and in mice with promising results. The researchers believe that this discovery opens up new possibilities for cancer therapy, where the goal is not just to kill cancer cells, but to restore them to their original healthy function. This could lead to treatments with fewer side effects and improved outcomes for patients. The team also used their digital modeling program to identify similar molecules in mouse brains, suggesting that this technique could be applied to other types of cancer as well. This breakthrough not only offers a new perspective on cancer treatment, but also provides a powerful tool for understanding the complex processes involved in cell development and differentiation. The researchers are optimistic that their findings.
So they basically make it benign, I guess, right? And then they could possibly remove it. But if it's still functioning normally, they don't necessarily have to remove the cells.
Is it benign if it's turned normal?
Yeah, because it's not dangerous.
Yeah, it's not
No,
cancerous.
they said they
It's
make it
regular,
healthy again. The cell is healthy again.
But it's cancer though. It's a cancer cell. And they're not removing the cancer. They're making it a healthier cancer cell.
So
they're making it like it was before you had cancer. That's
so
what they're
just
saying.
healthy,
Back to normal.
A normal cell. That's amazing. I mean, like I said though, I think they had that technology already. They just, you know what I mean? They just came back out with it. And they're about to jack up the price. You're not gonna be broke getting that shit.
Insurance probably will cover it.
Nah, hell no. That's gonna be
they really try to avoid people that got any glimpse of. Remember in Saw, the insurance one, and he was like, yeah, you canceled my insurance because I got gum disease. Yeah, gum disease causes cancer.
That's crazy.
So we can't.
Yeah, putting yourself at risk.
We had to cancel your policy because you didn't let us know that you had that. Well, I really need this surgery. I'm gonna die. I'm sorry, we can't cover it.
He said, okay, I got something for you.
And then he end up in one of Jigsaw's.
You gotta be careful at that goddamn insurance shit. You know, when you're dealing with that shit, niggas is ready to crash the fuck out. And we seen it in live in real time. You see what I'm saying? This shit is crazy out here.
Yo, what's the criteria that causes someone to lose access to you? What would you consider?
Endangering my kid, putting me in a situation that I don't want to be in more than twice, because it's not an accident after it's twice. It's just going to be repetitive. Just disrespect in general, like consistent disrespect, I'll say, because we might be playing and she might say some disrespectful shit. I ain't no bitch. But what else? Cheating, obviously. What do you mean, like as friends or relationship?
In any capacity.
Oh, okay. Consistent lying. I can't do it.
Untrustworthy.
Yeah, 100%. What else? Siding with my enemies, like how 50 be saying. I don't like people that side with people that means you harm.
What do you mean siding?
Siding with somebody who means you harm, but you just, or means me harm, and you're just like, well, that's not me, so I'm gonna be cool with them. That's what I mean. Like siding with somebody.
What if they met them before you did and they were already friends?
I mean, you still gotta choose. Because either I'm gonna be not around you for you being with them, or you not gonna be around them. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta choose, because my choice is already made.
Physical harm, just you don't like them.
I'm saying physical harm. If I don't like somebody, then they could bring me physical harm. And if you don't trust my judgment, that's on you. But I trust my judgment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I trust my judgment. I think that, you know what I mean? If my instincts tells me to stay away from somebody or not be around somebody, then I usually stay away from somebody or I don't be around somebody. And that's when I hear the story about that person, I'm just like, yeah, I'm glad I wasn't around that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gotta be like that because trusting others will get you fucked up. That's what I was saying the other day. Like, you have to have that inner discernment about who you're around and who they're around and how they act. And because if that shit didn't matter, then you would trust everybody. But yeah, I think the main ones like that is the most important for me. Like, what about you?
Shit. For me, it's like really just lying.
That's a big one. Yeah.
That shit is annoying.
Yeah, because you tell me the truth, that I could decide
Exactly.
how far or if I want you to keep
Right.
access or not.
Exactly.
But if you sit here hiding stuff,
You don't even know who you're dealing with. Facts.
I guess disrespect is a big one.
That's big.
You can't really be. I mean, cause it's different for me. An asshole sometimes.
Yeah, that's why I said consistent disrespect.
You know what I mean?
It's kind of crazy.
But like people know when to
chill.
To chill type shit.
Chill the fuck out.
But like, disrespect is a big one. And I mean that's really it. And you know what I mean? Just like people that really aggressively try to force you to do shit.
Force,
like I don't like those people. You know what I mean?
Bro. Too persistent.
Yeah, like give me like, you know what I mean? If I want to chill, like just give me my space. Like, you know what I mean? Some people are like that.
It should be okay to say no.
Thirsty to be your friend type of shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Don't make me feel horrible.
And that shit kind of weird.
Yeah, it is weird. Like
giving like cable guy vibes or some shit. Like it's just weird.
Niggas don't take no for it, especially when it's niggas. Like,
right? Yeah, that's the most.
Like, you mean you don't want to chill?
Yo, a chick
on Thursday,
like
at
a
6
chick,
o'clock.
I can't deal with it for too much. But it's a chick, so a chick you get, you can smash whatever. But
I'm not getting
a dude, like you at work and you like, come on, man, you never came to the ball tonight. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I didn't want to go, man. I was doing something.
Yeah, real shit.
Yo, man, it was free nachos.
First thing I said, I got a kid. I don't got just time to be hanging out.
Free nachos before 11.
And I don't even like nachos.
All you can eat.
If you just tuning in, hit the like button. Thank you for watching.
You're.
All right, I appreciate y'all.
What you think? What makes somebody lose access to you? Or are you done, Dwayne? Or you still?
Yeah, no, I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah. Just really those. I'm not. Nah, I don't really like people anyway. So.
I don't either.
That's why we cool, y'all. I just want y'all to know. Well, y'all fit me. Yes,
I agree with them. Lying, disrespect. Too persistent. I don't like that either. Cause if I already said no, why you keep asking?
Yeah, trying to come up with solutions when I gave you a reason why, and you like,
bribe you, I do this or that.
Yeah, I'll cook. You could. No, I don't care. I'm not hungry.
I'm not hungry. It's crazy.
All right.
I can be at home. But yeah, I agree with all of that. Like disrespect. He's a lie, cheater, deceiver, heartbreaker. But this is not just romantic. It's for any thing, anybody, like family, friends, whoever. Like and it may not be totally cut off, because that's what I mean. Like you just decide how you're gonna deal with them. Like maybe some people gotta take them in small doses because they overwhelm you if you around them on a daily basis.
Certain situations
So,
and shit, yeah.
and it may not be harmful, and it'd be like, you're gonna be around them, but you just gotta limit the interaction because it be draining. Well, for me anyway. Sometimes I need a break from the world. Just wanna, I turn my phone off sometimes and just.
But that's your form of
Watch
meditation.
YouTube content.
Real shit. Like, don't think that you gotta close your eyes to enchant to meditate. Like, you don't gotta do none of that shit. You just gotta separate yourself from everybody else. And sometimes not even, listening to anything on YouTube, just thinking.
Yeah.
Like, when was the last time you took,
turn the TV off too and just sit
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that shit is necessary. I think we all need that recharge to just be in our own thoughts.
And your Chopper said he don't look at his phone until a certain time of day.
Discipline.
Like, I was thinking with it because you turn your phone on
And
and
he
get
ignorant
that
as fuck.
But some
But
people
look at
have
him
to
got
for
discipline.
work.
That's
Like, you might
some
have
real
to look at your
shit.
phone for work, but like he said,
Mental.
because as soon as you turn on, then you get that dopamine hit because you scrolling and everything or whatever. Then you just be distracted all day. Like wait till like 11, 12.
He's smart. That's one thing about that dude that I get, that he's smart.
Nah, that's a good idea.
Cause that's some real shit.
You could set a timer on your phone to shut down all your applications until a certain time.
Yeah. I do. Well, I don't shut
Mine
down,
is like
but
automatic.
I go sleep mode.
Set up from
So
8
like
to
notification for certain apps don't come on at that time. But then it'll come back as like sleep. So then during the day, then it'll tell me like, oh, while you were asleep, this is what happened.
I don't even care.
Right. That's why it be sleep.
Oh, a thief. A thief. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Scratch your
life. If you steal from me, nigga, it's nah.
Yeah,
thief.
of course.
Yeah, forgot about that
What
shit.
if they stole your heart? No.
That's a thief too. That's a thief too. Steal my shit. Let me give it to you, goddammit. I want you to steal it. It's mine. Fuck that. Even that shit. Fire burn them. Fire burn them.
You is silly. Well, that is all we have for this evening. Do we have any final remarks that anybody want to say?
Nothing, man. Nah, I'm just we gonna pull up to his Pop the Balloon event, man. Just want to throw that out there, man.
When is it gonna be? We could tell.
I don't even remember. I don't know. You got the flyer? We just took this gas mask to the face, man.
Yeah, we
That's my cop out.
We not trying to be funny with this shit. I'm heat. For real though. I had to put the shit down. Normally I finished that little ass J. I said nope. Started to panic. It's coming down and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
I believe it's March 30th.
Okay.
Episode.
March 30th. That's next. Oh, that's next Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's Humble Renaissance. He's having a Pop the Balloon event. He does the Lifer podcast, and he's also comes out. We're gonna do a collab.
Go child.
And go back and watch the last video. That's a collab that we did with them last week. And we talked about mental health awareness. And we talked about we discussed relationships and what's wrong with the dating market, and even we had a live audience and some people had questions and we let them ask questions from the audience. But yeah, to tune into his podcast as well.
Is that the diamond on the floor?
But thank you for tuning in to another episode of Get Lifted. 30 is the new 20.
Yeah,
I'm a Heffa.
Is it that? It's a clip.
It's Chris O.D.
Chris O.D., my bad.
SmileyJizzle.
Oh, Dodie.
Here.
Get Lifted. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're notified the next time posts go live. And go watch that last video.
Yeah,
it premiered today at 8 o'clock.
I'm about to watch that shit. That's the one we was at this place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fire.